Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Walkersville High School, home of the Lions, for some exciting Week 2 high school football. That's right, the South Carroll Cavaliers are here in their white jerseys, white pants, and black helmets, and we've got a great afternoon and evening of 2A, 1A high school football here. It's, once again, for the second week in a row, it is Carroll County versus Frederick County. So we'll find out how that works out. But Coach Rick Little had a chance to get together with Coach Tyler Thompson, head coach of the Walkersville Lions, earlier this week, and asked him a few questions about the exciting win last week and what he thought about his upcoming opponents. Let's hear that interview.
Hey, good evening, Coach.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right. Well, congratulations on Week 1's win.
Thank you.
Just want to spend a couple minutes maybe talking about that for any of our Walkersville fans that might have missed that game. Kind of looked like things weren't going so well for the Walkersville Lions, and suddenly then in the fourth quarter, when they had to, they responded. Can you talk about the last two drives down 11 with 5 minutes to play to come back and tie it and then go to the overtime?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we started off the game actually pretty well. We drove down and got into the red zone, and just like that drive, just like 2 or 3 other drives that we had, we ended up getting penalties in the red zone and taking ourselves back and getting behind the sticks. So we felt good about what we had offensively. We just couldn't find it yet to click. You know, we went down by 11 in that fourth quarter and got that ball back and just had a conversation with the quarterback, like, hey, we're going to have to move here and go quick basically on everything. So, you know, don't be surprised if the entire play call sheet comes out. We're just really going to have to get down there and get in the end zone. So, you know, our quarterback made some good throws. He made some helped some plays with his legs, and we got into that end zone. He converts a 2-point conversion. We went for an onside kick. Didn't get it. You know, that kind of dimmed our chances a little bit. But when our defense needed to, they stepped up big time. We got them on a 3-and-out. Stopped them on 3rd and short. Called timeout. Got the ball back with a timeout in our pocket, knowing that we were only down 3. We got down all the way to about that 4 or 5 yard line. Had an opportunity with about 8 seconds to go to throw a ball at the end zone. You know, Liberty was ready for it. They did a good job all game, obviously, and they gave us a stop there. And, you know, then we brought our kicker Nathan Ramsey out, and he drills the game-tying field goal as time expires, which I want to give a huge shout-out to him because, you know, ice in his veins for that kid. That was his first game ever. He had never been in a football game before. He's a soccer player. He's a dual sport athlete at the school, and that was his first field goal attempt in his life, not even in youth. So that was his first field goal attempt in his life, and he puts it through. It was remarkable. Just icing. Even when they iced him, they called a timeout. He comes over. He's like, it's okay. I'll be fine. I was like, all right. Sounds good. He had all the confidence in the world, and we get the ball first in overtime, take the first play over the left side, and a huge hole by the offensive line. We get in the end zone. Nathan Ramsey comes out, puts one through again. We go up 7. We get him behind the sticks on first down, go to second down. They break a long run, get to about the 3, score, and then they're going for 2. They hadn't been able to make an extra point in that first session, and that's kind of why they ended up with 18. In that regulation time, because we stopped them on 2 other 2-point conversions. And then, you know, they go. It's a heck of a close call, but we get his feet tied up in the backfield. He reaches out, and the safety comes in and cleans him up and stops him just about a foot short. So, you know, it was great for us to get that win. It would have been really hurtful to get all that, have all that effort of coming back and not be able to get it done in overtime. So, really proud of the resilience of our kids. You know, shows that we can play together as a team and bounce back when we need to. I mean, it was great to see. No bad body language, no getting on each other, just coming together and working with one another and just trying to complete the task at hand. So, you know, I hope to not have to do that again. especially in the season opener. It was unbelievable, but I'm glad that we went 1-0 that week, and we're trying to get another win this week.
Yeah, and, from our vantage point up in the press box, on that 2-point attempt by Liberty, it sure looked like there was a nice hole initially for their running back, and then it closed quickly by your guys, and it's like, sometimes you play on a 100-yard football field, and it's a game of inches. As in you, because you had a good vantage point from your side, and so, but yeah, congratulations. It was a great comeback, and like you said, we could see from the press box, and you can kind of feel stuff, how, it's almost like, all right, guys, we're not going to lose this game. And as an offensive unit, they just, and then defensively, like you said, the 3 and out, and you could just feel the energy in the stadium change, drastically when we scored that first touchdown, and still we're down 3, but the energy was where it needed to be, both on the field and up in the bleachers with your Walkersville fans.
Yeah, we had a great crowd that night too. They obviously played a part in it. We had an odd change in venue, but tried to make the most of it, and our people still, made the trek over to Howard County instead of just riding up 26 to Liberty, but it was good. Great job by the community, and, it was a fantastic job by our kids, but, I wish we just would have scored on that play with 8 seconds left instead of overtime. That would have kept me from getting a few more gray hairs, so, these kids, I told the kids after the game, I told the kids they were trying to kill me, but, we got it sorted out in the end. So I'm glad that it's on. Larry Luke is a good coach, man. He really is. He's done a great job of that program, and his kids play super tough all the time. They play hard every year that we play them.
Good, like you said, week 1, you don't always want to have to go to the edge to win the game, but you learn a lot about your kids and your team in situations like that, and I can just tell by listening to you how proud you are and how you feel so good about this team here early in the season.
Oh yeah, man, I'm super proud of the kids. I couldn't say enough good things about them on that Friday night. I mean, it was something special to see that. I mean, there was not a lot of time left, and we were down 2 scores, and everything that we needed to have happen, we completed. So, like I said, I'm just glad to be on the week 2.
Yeah, mission accomplished. So, week 2, another Carroll County matchup. South Carroll comes to Walkersville. What should the fans expect to see in this matchup?
Well, they lost their week 1 game to a good Glenelg team. Glenelg's good. We played them last year in the playoffs. They were the top seed in our region in the 2A West, so they carried over a lot of guys from that team last year. They're a good squad. Glenelg's a good squad. Their coach, Will Bell, he does a great job over there. I'm pretty sure Coach Butch is still over there, helping out. So Glenelg's a good team, and South Carroll gave them a fight for a large portion of that game. I like what I see on film from South Carroll. I really like their quarterback. He's a slippery kid, plays really hard. So we're going to have to try and do our best to contain him and work really hard on defense to cover some of their skill guys and, just overall play tough. If we let loose on defense or, have some missed assignments, they definitely can hurt you. They have the ability to score, and I like some of their guys that they have on offense over there.
Yeah, it looks to me on film as though they kind of rely more on the pass game. Liberty kind of more of a run attack. Do you see the same and expect the same, more of an effort on the passing game from South Carolina?
Yeah, just based off of what we're seeing on film, I would agree with you. Liberty was a very run-heavy team in both of their preseason scrimmages, and they carried over that run game into our Week 1 matchup. What I see from South Carolina is that they have the ability to do both. Obviously, I think they throw the ball more than Liberty does, but I think that we're going to have to be, on our toes either way because they do have a pretty decent split of running pass. They do a good job with both, so, they'll throw and run on first, second, and third down. Not a ton of tendency that we're seeing, so we got to kind of move down across the board on defense.
Yeah, it seemed like they were multiple formation team and really tried to spread things out.
Yeah. I think for sure a couple different personnel sets as well, though. Getting guys in and out. I think the coach is doing a good job. I believe this is his second year, maybe his third. And his third year, and he's, every time I talk to him, he's always been a nice guy, and he really works hard for the program, so looking forward to the matchup.
Yeah. And how about the health of your team? You come out of week one pretty good?
Yeah, luckily, with a hard-fought game like that and so many yards in between the tackles, we actually came out healthy, and I'm knocking on wood right now. We came out healthy after week one, and we had a pretty good week of practice with nobody having any nagging injuries, so that's always a positive when on Monday we don't have a guy not dressed or limping around or something like that. The health is important to us, especially being smaller roster team, especially with the size one up to our constitution.
Yeah, correct. Well, the weather's supposed to be great. You'll probably have another good crowd at Walkersville. Should be a great environment for a high school football game.
Yeah, it should be home opener, and we're going to have youth night there for our home opener as well. So hopefully, I believe the stands will be packed with people, and we always appreciate all the support that we get from our community and how many people are bought in to seeing us succeed, not only at the varsity level but our JV team as well, and all throughout our youth. The Walkersville community has really bought into their football from K through 12.
All right, Coach. I think that wraps us up here for this quick interview. I wish you all the best. Stay healthy.
All right, thanks very much. Have a great one.
Always great to hear from Coach Tyler Thompson as Walkersville is set to take on South Carroll with Coach Rick Little and Ryan Pierce. Seems like Tyler very happy to survive week one, a close win, now moves on to week two.
Yeah, Coach Thompson talked about the resiliency of his team. They struggled throughout, and we were there witnessing it and just kind of shaking our heads, and boy, they came through when the pressure was on. Good matchup here tonight, a well-coached South Carroll team, winning pedigree out of this quote family affair, and we'll talk about that throughout the game a little bit, but I'm looking for a really good matchup tonight. Beautiful evening, great crowd, youth night, a lot going on here at Walkersville.
Walkersville's 1-0 after a 25-24 overtime win on the road against Liberty. South Carroll is 0-1 after falling 37-14 to Glen Elk last week. The Cavaliers are in their road white uniforms, the dark lettering. They're going to set to kick off. Walkersville in their home purple uniforms, those dark blue uniforms with the dark blue helmets and the purple pants. They're going to get set to return. They'll be working from left to right here from Walkersville High School. As the kick is off, it's a good one back into the end zone. It bounces maybe 5 yards away from the end of the end zone and out of play. It's a touchback.
Preston Wuchunian. Wow, what a kick. That's a scholarship kick right there. Airborne into the end zone, automatic touchback in high school football. Impressive.
Can't imagine how good he is on actual field goals. We'll have to see if he gets that opportunity. Walkersville 1-0. They won an 18-0 run to close out their game last week against Liberty, led by their quarterback Owen Brooks, one of a couple captains. But it was all rushing touchdowns last week. No throwing the touchdowns for Brooks. He did have one on the ground. Walkersville in the shotgun to start. Working left to right as it's a sweep out to the outside of Colin Allerell. They start running back, running horizontally to the near sideline, and he's pulled down by the shoulder pads. Maybe picked up two to the 22.
Yep, South Carroll's going to come out in basically a 5-man front, and they typically blitz one of their middle linebackers and really try to put pressure on you. One of Coach Thompson's keys to victory was the offensive line needs to pick up the pressure. They need to contain that rush. Right there, well done by South Carroll, 2-yard gain.
Cavaliers led by Brennan Harrison and Grady Conway in the linebacker spot. A quarterback option kept up the middle by the quarterback Brooks. Muscles his way in the middle past the 25 to the 26, where his knees touch the turf, and it brings up a 3rd and 4.
We know Owen can carry the ball. Him and Colton, good duo in the backfield. A read option there. Brooks kept it, fell forward. 3rd and 4.
Working left to right at their own 26, have to reach the 30. First drive of the game, first possession. The third play as Brooks is in the shotgun. Looked like he was going to snap, and now turns and looks to Coach Thompson on the sideline. He comes set with Amaral behind him. 3 receivers to his left, 1 down low, a 4-3 defense for the Cavaliers. Brooks drops back, looking right, flushed out right. He is angled to the sideline, past the first down to the 32 before sliding out of bounds, picking up 6 and moving the chains.
Yeah, quickly into the backfield was Jake Miller, 6'3", 195-pound outside linebacker, senior. Brooks saw it coming out of the corner of his eye, was able to dodge that and get around the edge in front of the Walkersville bench for a first down.
Jake Miller, one of 3 players who were brothers of players that was on that state title team, a team that made the state championship back in 2021 for South Carroll. Brooks the snap, turns to Amaral off the right guard. He juts back to the middle, spinning at the 36, tumbling forward to the 40. That's a 10-yard pickup and a first down for Corton Amaral.
Good fight there by Colton. A little bit of contact, and he kept moving, kept driving. Mason Polak nose guard with the tackle.
I'll correct myself. He picked up 9 yards, so a yard short of the first down. That's a good sign. Amaral had 85 yards rushing last week. We were surprised to see that, I think, both of us, after looking at the stats.
Yeah, I think 40-yard rush and a 10-yard rush in overtime were the big ones.
Brooks down the middle of the field. The player tumbles. Ball hits the turf. No flag comes up. It looks like Mariah Martin got his legs tangled up with a defensive back. He was being chased, I believe. Is that Davey Snyder? No, that was Braden Mazalewski, who doubles as the defensive back and quarterback on the coverage.
Yep, South Carroll starts 9 men that play both ways. They do a lot of substituting at the linebacker and the front 3 defensive front. Quickly to the line of scrimmage.
Big formation. Brooks under center, keeps it himself right behind the center. Braden Mitchell, he presses forward, earns 3, and moves the chains. First down for Brooks.
That's one thing Coach Crumley talked about, was the strength of the offensive line of Walkersville, and that concerned him a little bit. And right now, the offensive line is controlling that line of scrimmage.
Got Braden Mitchell at center, Corbin Gilbert right to his right. 2 receivers up top, empty down low on the near hash mark at their own 43, working left to right, past the slot. It is caught by Martin. He beats one defender into the secondary, down the far side, outside the hash by the numbers, tripped up at the 43, tumbles forward to the 42, and with 9:27 left to go on this first drive of the game, Walkersville is in South Carroll territory.
And we have a man down for South Carroll, stoppage of play. Little swing pattern out to the slot receiver, Mosiah Martin. Great move to get into South Carroll territory, 1st and 10.
Messiah Martin getting a positive gain. We'll go ahead and break with a player down for the Cavaliers. We'll come back on Cool Oldies.
Our local American Legion Post 168 in Thurmont is amazing. Not only do they support local high school sports on the radio, but they have great food, great fun, and they constantly serve our community in so many ways. Check out their Facebook page, American Legion Post 168, to find out about their exciting events. And be sure to say thank you for supporting our local community. And don't you forget to say thank you every time you see them for their selfless sacrifice in military service to our country. Thanks, American Legion Post 168. We salute you.
Back on Cool Oldies 1450, the Frederick County Sports Connection. It looks like the injured player for South Carroll is off the field. We'll give you an update in just a second as Brooks has a first down at the Cavaliers 42. He's in the gun. It's back to his right as Amaral takes a snap, rolls to his right. Amaral's blocking. It's a quarterback keeper for Brooks. Down the near sideline, 40-35. Sidesteps out of bounds at the 33, gaining 7.
So in front of the shotgunning quarterback Brooks, and Armorel is number 64, Nicholas Braden, 6 foot, 265-pound fullback. And Coach Thompson is breaking the trends from the first game. They always ran up the gut ISOs with Braden in the lineup. That time they run a sweep.
Josh Furr was a player who went down for South Carroll. He got up with the help of the coaches. He's on the sideline and getting looked at right now.
Yeah. He was chit-chatting with the trainer, but now it looks like he's moved in a different direction, back talking to his parents.
Hand off to the outside.
Nice cut.
Back middle down the right side, off the races, in the end zone for a touchdown. Colin Armorel, 27-yard rushing touchdown to put Walkersville up by a touchdown.
Nice run. Don't mean to correct you, but 34 yards.
Thank you. Okay, that works even better for Armorel, added to those stats. As the ambulances in the background flash their lights, the horn goes off, and Walkersville's on top 6-0.
Okay, now I do not see number 13 here tonight, which is Nathan Ramsey, so they're going for 2.
We'll talk about Ramsey in a bit. Brooks is under center. Hands off to Armorel, pressing forward behind the right guard, and he's over the end line for the 2-point conversion. So a positive drive for Walkersville. 8:55 left in the first. They touchdown for Armorel from 34 yards out, and then the 2-point conversion to make it 8-0 after their first drive. On Cool Oldies, 14:50. Walkersville scores on their first drive, +2. They lead 8-0. Let's see how the Cavaliers of South Carroll respond. There's a kickoff, a squib kick. It ricochets
bounces
off the front line on the turf. I think South Carroll got it. That's some bad luck. It was a line drive kick that hit off the chest of Armin Savadoki, and it bounced back towards Walkersville midfield. It then ricocheted off a Walkersville player and scooped up by South Carroll. They have good field position at their own 46.
The ball ping-pong back and forth. Number 11, Eli Gasumia, covers for the Cavaliers. Speaking, we talked about Ramsey. Colton Almorel kicked that off, so Ramsey's not here tonight. I did not see a soccer game on the Walkersville schedule, but he is a soccer player.
Nathan Ramsey had the game-tying field goal last week in his first ever game. Quick pass into the slot from the quarterback, Braden Mazalewski, and it's close to a first down, a 9-yard pickup to one of his favorite targets on the near side. As a catch was made, it looks like by number 4, Jake Gillis.
Yep. Jake from the slot position, just down, turned in front of the safety who was defending him. 9-yard gain on the play.
Braden Mazalewski in the loss last week to Glen Elk. He had a good performance, had 2 touchdown passes, 9 completions for 154 yards. The junior, making his 3rd start at the varsity level, has a good, accurate arm. As Gillis is in motion left to right, Mazalewski the snap, turns and hands off to the running back. He's past the first down marker, gains 3 to the 43 of Walkersville.
Anthony Rodriguez back from injury on the carry, and a Cavalier first down.
Rodriguez and Davey Snyder are a good 1-2 in the backfield. Snyder had a touchdown last week, also one of the team captains. As Rodriguez lines up to the right of Mazalewski, a quick first down. Down 8-0, 7:52 of South Carroll. They're working into Walkersville territory. Off the sweep onto the right side. Ball goes, I thought for a moment to Gillis. Is kept by the quarterback Mazalewski off the right tackle. Earned 3 or 4 to the 36 of Walkersville. So just like that, it is South Carroll making their presence known on the offensive ends in positive plays.
Good execution there on that read option by Mazalewski. Quarterback put it in the running back's belly and then pulled it out after a couple steps. Nice push for a 6-yard gain.
Mazalewski, 62 rushing yards last week. That is in his repertoire. 4 receivers, 3 down low, 1 up top as the Cavaliers spread out. Mazalewski the snap. This time he does hand it off to the back of the backfield. Rodriguez, he's met with trouble right away. Bounced off 1 tackle and then pulled down at the 35, 36, basically the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, individual effort. They looked like Walkersville was going to drop him for a 1 or 2 yard loss. He broke that tackle, then fell forward. Brings up a 3rd and manageable 4 yards for the Cavalier, which is probably 4 down territory here at the 36-yard line of Walkersville.
6:35 left in the first. 3rd and 4 from the 36 for the Cavaliers. In the far hash mark, first 3rd down opportunity. Mazalewski in the gun. 2 receivers, now 3 to his right. The back behind him is Rodriguez. Mazalewski the snap, turns and fakes the handoff. Rolls to his left, looking the slot, under pressure, near the line of scrimmage. Gets past 1, can't get past the 2nd as he's shouldered out of bounds at the 34. Maybe gained a couple. It's still going to be short of the first down by about 3 yards.
Yep, Max Berth, nice angle to push Mazalewski out after a very short gain or no gain. Brings up 4th and 4 for the Cavaliers. And just as we expected, 4 down territory.
Max Berth had a nice tackle last week against Liberty. 4 down territory with 6:18 left after the clock stopped with the player going out of bounds. Mazalewski on the near hash mark at the 36 is where they officially mark him. In the shotgun, needs to pick up 5. To his right is Rodriguez. 3 receivers up top. 4 down linemen, 4 rush as Mazalewski rolls to his right, passes sideline. It's caught at the 30, and I think enough for a first down. And that does move the chains on the pass and catch.
Very nice play, good execution, just enough. 1 yard past the line to gain. Jackson Costas there, split in position for the Cavaliers.
Costas making his 2nd catch of the year, under 6 minutes left in the first. 8-0 Walkersville, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion from Colin Amarell on their first drive. On their second drive, South Carroll is working. Ball on the 31. Now they're slowing things down a little bit, Coach.
They do huddle up. Not too many teams huddle up and call the play, but they like to manage the clock and keep control of the ball.
Turn, handoff, Rodriguez right up the middle, and he is met by the front line and stopped. Pulled down at the ankles, a gang tackle from Walkersville for no gain.
Looks like number 5, Ian Barr, at the bottom of the pile there, holding on the legs. Then got good support. 1 yard gain on the play.
Barr had a game-saving tackle last week in overtime. He also had a rushing touchdown. He was the unsung hero for Walkersville. What a performance for him, especially that clutch tackle in the end.
Yep. 1 carry for a touchdown, and then the big tackle to erase the 2-point run attempt.
On 2nd and 9, Mazalewski shotgun turns. Rodriguez again hit, this time in the backfield. He's able to fall forward, maybe got back to the line. It brings up a 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. 2 runs for no gain for Rodriguez.
Kasu and Alex Bernardoni there on the carry to combine. 3rd and long. The Cavaliers have to put this one in the air.
Mazalewski, 9 completions last week for 2 passing touchdowns. One was to Jake Miller from about this distance. At the 30-yard line of the far hash mark, we'll have to watch where Miller lines up. You've got Jackson Costos on the near side. Miller, I believe, is on the far side. In motion left to right is Costos. Mazalewski gets the snap. Oh, pressure from behind. Offended. The defensive back came in untouched. Brendan Cheney, a huge sack for a loss of 7.
Brandon, from his cornerback position on the wide side of the field, came in on the blind side of the right-handed quarterback and dropped him for the big loss.
Brandon Cheney, nothing but green in front of him. You know, his eyes got big when he was rushing back with the quarterback, Mazalewski, not seeing him. And now South Carroll has to punt. Ball in midfield would have been a 4th and 20, so they're going to punt The punter is lined up at about midfield. It's Mike Frey. He takes a snap, has some time. Here's the kick, trying to place it inside the 10. Bounces at the 10, rolls towards the side, took a sideways bounce, bounced away at the 15, and stopped there. So it's at the 14-15 yard line, but there is a flag, I believe, on the play.
Right here in front of us at the line of scrimmage.
Not a bad punt.
Oh, a sideline warning on the Walkersville bench.
So Walkersville's in front of us in the dark blue uniforms. They get a sideline warning. Big crowd here at Walkersville High School. Lots of blue in the crowd to see their Lions leading 8-0. 3:16 left here on the first quarter. The second drive of the game after Colton Amaral picked up his second rushing touchdown of the season. The receiver converted to a running back. Stands behind his quarterback, Owen Brooks, for the second drive from their own 14. So backed up. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, looks like it's right at the 15-yard line. Walkersville defense bends but does not break.
4 down, 7 in the box. Rolling to his left is Brooks looking to pass. Now he's going to keep it himself outside the numbers. Angling sideline. Jumped on the back with the linebacker of Brooks and pulled him down for maybe a minimal gain.
Yeah, I believe that was a design quarterback sweep to the left. South Carroll did a nice job containing and making the play.
Brennan Harrison had the tackle. He had 7 last week. A tough linebacker on the outside with good speed. Gain of 4 for Brooks, so he was able to extend it more than I thought he did originally. 2nd and 6, 19. 2:38 left. Walkersville up 8-0. Second game of the regular season. Lions trying to go to 2-0 for the 4th straight year. Brooks in the shotgun. A couple backs to his right. 2 receivers to his right. Brooks the snap. He rolls to his right. Lobs it down the middle of the field. He's got a man going back and pulling it in. And pulled down at the 40 is number 7, Messiah Martin, his second catch.
So South Carroll, expecting a run, comes out with 8 men in the box. Walkersville sees that upon the formation, calls the long fly pattern to Martin. Big gain all the way down to the Cavalier 40-yard line.
Martin now 5 receptions on the year. Massive pickup to the 40 of South Carroll. Shotgun Brooks. 2 receivers up top and a pair in the back. Turns and hands it off to Amaral. Spins off the right side, down the right sideline. 30, 25. Spun by the arm. Sticks on his feet. Now a flag comes out as he's tussled to the turf at the 15. Could be a face mask. Let's wait and see.
Yep. And against the 8-man front, Walkersville runs anyway. Colton clean to the second level, then breaks a tackle, spins back in, gets grabbed by the face mask and tugged to the ground. It's 15-yard line plus.
Amaral 85 rushing yards last week. That's already his 3rd big pickup today. Under 2 minutes left to go in the first, and Walkersville is inside the red zone of South Carroll for the 2nd time tonight. As the Lions try to pad their lead against the Cavaliers early. It is a face mask, half the distance to the goal line. It puts the Lions at the 10 of the near hash mark, knocking on the door. After a late comeback last week, Lions trying to do damage early today. I formation, big package right side with Amaral at the top. That's where the ball goes, straight up the middle, off the right side. Amaral to the 5, in the end zone for a touchdown. Colton Amaral, second of the day, and it is 14-0. Lions in control.
And let's call that a 10-yard run again against the goal line defense. Walkersville lines up in their double tight package with Big Sprayland leading Colton Amaral through the hole. Waltz is in for Walkersville's 2nd touchdown of the night.
So with the kicker not in attendance, the normal field goal kicker, at least we don't think he is, Nathan Ramsey, going for 2 again on the Lions. Amaral behind the quarterback, turn, handoff Amaral. He's hit the line, dragged by the ankles, leans forward, and now is pushed back. It doesn't look like he got there. He did not. So this time on the 2-point conversion, the Cavaliers stand up Colton Amaral. But Amaral, a pair of rushing touchdowns to have the Lions up 14-0 with 1:54 left to go in the first on Cool Oldies 1450 and the Frederick County Sports Connection.
quality service at a fair price. Brownie's Auto Repair employs only ASE certified technicians. Brownie's is one of only 33 shops in the state of Maryland designated as an ASE Blue Seal of Excellence repair facility. They want to help you maintain your vehicle in a manner that keeps it trouble-free and fun to drive. Stop by today. That's Brownie's Auto Repair, located on Frederick Street, Walkersville, a proud sponsor of Walkersville High School Athletics.
With 1:54 left to go in the first quarter on Cool Oldies 1450 in the Frederick County Sports Connection, the Lions of Walkersville lead the Cavaliers of South Carroll by 2 touchdowns. There's a short kick picked by the outback at the 30 for South Carroll, and he is upended, somersaulted over the tackler. Looks to be okay, thankfully. That was number 56. As I pull out my roster, Grady Conaway, their talented linebacker, who got hit hard but seems to be fine, thankfully.
So we get nosedived him, cut him out at the knees. Everybody looks to be good.
Big drive here, Coach, for South Carroll.
Yep. I mean, it took a big play by Walkersville, the big sack, to stop the last drive. South Carroll, see if they can keep that momentum from the previous drive. Forget about the defensive aspect. Now we have a stoppage to play for some reason.
I think it was maybe a running clock, not positive. It says 1:54. Now we're ready to go near a hash mark to the 35. In their road whites, working right to left as the sun sets in the background. A little end-around sweep, running horizontally off the right tackle. Now throwing it down the field, almost picked off, was the receiver Jackson Costos. I think he wanted to run the football, had no opening, and just tossed it into an open zone of the turf. Almost threw it away.
Almost threw it to the blue team.
Yeah.
Just a little too far. There was an open area down there. There was only one receiver going down the field, so you may be right. Walkersville, good edge rush, really kind of messed up the timing of either action, pass or run on that play.
In front of a lot of blue shirts and blue uniforms in the crowd. South Carroll in enemy territory tonight here at Walkersville High School, down by 2 touchdowns. Pass straight up the middle, and it is caught by Gills. Cuts up the seam, and he has enough for a first. Gain of 13 before being pulled down by a couple tacklers from the Lions. That is a second catch for the slot receiver Gills.
And exact same play, a good timing play. Before the safety can close, picks up 10 yards.
Under 1:40 left in the first quarter, 14-0. Lions lead the Cavaliers. Cavaliers already have 3 first downs, just no touchdowns yet. Looking for that first score, down by 2 touchdowns. At the 48, the quarterback, Braden Mazalewski, dual threat junior. In his second year, started a few games late last season, now getting time as the main starter. The snap, the turn, the handoff, right up the middle, into the secondary, lunging forward to the 46, being pulled down by his back was the running back, Davey Snyder, getting his first touch after rushing for just 15 yards last week, but did have 1 touchdown.
Yep, nice gain there off the right side, nice hole into the second level. Walkersville's got to close that one up, because that's going to set up the read option for quarterback Mazalewski if they continue to let that go.
Snyder snuck through for 5. It's 2nd and 5 from the 46 of the Lions. Cavaliers working right to left, straight at the middle of the field between the hash marks on top of the purple W for Walkersville. Mazalewski again under pressure. Safety blitz. And again, Mazalewski goes down. That is a sack in the second of the night from Brandon Cheney.
And he stayed down. I don't know if he twisted a knee when he made the tackle.
Brandon Cheney with the sack. And he also now is down on the turf getting worked on by the training staff. Cheney playing great. That's the second time a cornerback blitz has led to a sack. Unfortunately, Cheney being worked on. He is being helped up, thankfully. That is a good sign with the Lions leading 14-0. 25 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 2 big sacks from Cheney. This one for a loss of about 15. And there is Cheney. He's getting up. And the Walkersville fans, big round of applause for their tough defensive back.
They're holding the one shoulder like he might have extended a little bit too much when he did the reach out and the sack.
He's saying something. Yeah, you can even see the motion from the coach there. Looks like it is a shoulder. Don't want to speculate, but that could very well be it. Great news, though. Cheney walking off under his own power, taking off his helmet on the sideline, getting greeted by his teammates and the fans alike. And now we'll see if he can get him back out there. Third down and 18 from the 40. For South Carroll. Long way to go. Mazalewski shotgun. 3 down low. Receiver up top by himself. Mazalewski the drop back with 4 rushing. Mazalewski down the sideline. A picture-perfect pass. And it's caught into Lions territory all the way to the 18. On the money for Jake Miller in his first catch tonight.
So the South Carroll coaching staff took advantage of the substitution immediately. Put their big 6'4" tight end / wide receiver out wide, matched up against the reserve. Big play for the Cavaliers. End of the first quarter.
We go to break. 14-0. Walkersville on top of South Carroll, and Cool Oldies 1450.
Dr. John and his team have moved out behind his old office to the new office on 103 Park Avenue in Thurmont. You can still park in the back lot and walk across Park Avenue to his office. Center of Life Chiropractic is open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. To check out their schedule, go to centeroflife.us. Once again, that's centeroflife.us. Back pain, neck pain, rehab, and more. Dr. John is the best there is. Stop by Center of Life Chiropractic and get an adjustment to your life today.
Getting set to start the second quarter, 14-0. Walkersville on top of South Carroll with the Cavaliers marching. They have it in Walkersville territory in the red zone, working left to right at the 18 on the near hash mark. The quarterback, Mazalewski, who just threw a stunning 40-yard pickup to the receiver, tight end Jake Miller. He's going to keep it himself off the right side. Mazalewski breaks one tackle to the 10, down inside the 5, tossed to the turf at the 3.
1.
All the way to the 1. Got to the 1. Okay.
Yeah. Great run, and he comes up a little gimpy. I'm keeping an eye on number 2, Jake Miller, who made that great catch and that nice pass. He's on the sidelines, limping around a little bit himself.
That'd be a big story if to keep track of. Miller, 6'4" senior, 2 catches for 62 and a touchdown last week. Already one huge pickup of about 40 yards. South Carroll knocking on the door, 2 yards out. First and goal from the 2. Mazalewski shotgun. Behind him is Davey Snyder, their big back, who had a touchdown last week. Full back in front of him. The turn, the handoff to Snyder. Cuts back middle, hit in the backfield. Falls forward to the 3, a loss of 1 for Snyder. Great pressure from the Walkersville secondary.
Braden Mitchell, Charlie Nilsson on the stop there. No gain.
No gain. Second and third goal from the 3.
Let's see if they don't go back to that slot. Just a little turn in if Walkersville stays in their 2 deep coverage.
Sorry, Coach.
That's fine.
10:50 left to go in this first half. 14-0. South Carroll a chance to get on the board here, though. Behind the quarterback, Mazalewski, is Snyder. Snyder takes a handoff off the right side, leans forward, didn't get in for the second time.
Stuffed by the middle linebackers.
Brings up third and goal from the 2 with 10:20 and counting. Great pressure from Ian Barr.
Yep. Knocked him down again. This time, this is Mazalewski Reed right here. They're setting it up for him to run around the edge.
It is inside the 2 on the near hash mark. Big play here for the Cavaliers. On third down, they'll probably go for it if they don't get in. Mazalewski in the shotgun, a pair of receivers to his right. Against 8 players in the box for Walkersville. Mazalewski, quarterback keeper, bobbled it, picked it up, leans forward, and he is short by inches, according to the referee, inside the 1. Now decision time for South Carroll.
I believe it's a matter of what player you're going to run. They're going for it. The way Walkersville been moving. They can't settle for a field goal right here. That ball is inside the one. If you say a foot away, that's about right.
Might be the nose of the football just near the goal line on the near hash mark. Mazalewski with the clock ticking at 9:13 left in the first half. Lengthy drive where he's carried it, he's passed it. What will he do to finish it off? On the near hash in the shotgun. The back Snyder behind him. Mazalewski. 8 in the box for Walkersville. Turns, hands off Snyder, off the right guard, in for a touchdown. Davey Snyder, his second rushing touchdown in the air out on 4th and goal inside the 1, probably inside the 1 foot mark. Davey Snyder rumbles in.
Good blocking off the right side. Snyder untouched in the end zone.
So Snyder puts South Carroll on the board for the moment, silences the crowd, but the Lions offense has been tough to stop. 8:55 left in the second, and a field goal coming up for Mike Frey, who's got a really strong leg. He's at the 15, ball down at the 2, there's a snap, there's a hold at the 10 rather. Frey's kicked, sidewinds his way through, and it's 14-7 with 8:55 after a 1-yard rushing touchdown for Davey Snyder, then an extra point for Mike Frey. We'll break and come back in just a moment on Cool Oldies 1450. After scoring their first touchdown and cutting the Lions lead in half, the Cavaliers getting set to kick off from the 40. Lions will have it, leading 14-7, 8:55 left to go, working from right to left.
Big third down, 18 yards to go conversion for the Cavaliers to keep that drive alive.
Braden Mazalewski found his top target, Jake Miller. Here is the return. Bobbled and controlled by Martin outside the hash mark, far side now outside the numbers, tries to cut back to the middle. He might have some room. There is a flag for a block in the back though, as Martin is pulled down at the 29. Reverse field twice, and they're going to lose some yards here.
Yep. I believe as a runner, you want to go to the opening, but that's going to cost his team yardage. When he came back, the block in the back was almost an inadvertent block, but indeed, it was still a block in the back.
We'll see where the referees, there's the call, block in the back, and where they march the Lions off to. They take over up by 7. A couple of rushing touchdowns from Colin Amaral, also had a 2-point conversion successfully completed. Amaral, 3 rushing touchdowns already this year. Transition from receiver to running back, going pretty well.
Yep. And he was a running back in youth football. It's just when he came here to Walkersville, there was some talented men in front of him, including Ross from last year's team, who set a school record. So, yeah, he just waited his turn, helped the team out, moved to the slot receiver, put on a little weight. Looks to me this off-season, strong running back this year.
On the near hash, the 15, their own 15. Lions take over in the shotgun is Brooks. Hands hip high, he claps, has to bend down to pick it up. Hands off, Amaral off the left tackle, has some space at the near sideline. Forced out of bounds at the 24. And gained 9. Amaral, another big pickup.
South Carroll's really selling out to stop the run. Walkersville's picking it up, though. He came through that hole clean. They're lucky that defensive back had a nice angle to push him out of bounds.
South Carroll gave up 250-plus rushing yards last week to Glen Elk. Now 2nd and short from the 24.
2nd and 2, see if Coach Thompson doesn't take a shot again. It looks to me as though they're 8 in the box again for South Carroll. Man-to-man on the wideouts.
There are 2 receivers to the right side. Yes, we'll see if they go that way. including in the slot. Messiah Martin had a big catch earlier. Pass goes to the right, and it is caught in the slot to Damian Grant. Grant breaks it back to the outside, past the 30, tossed to the turf for the 31, gaining 6 and moving the chains.
Yeah, little pitch and catch there. Grant, yards after the catch. Good block by his wide receiver mate, Martin. Spring him free, move the chains.
1st and 10, Walkersville. Far hash mark, 8:19 left. First half, they're leading 14-7. Week 2 of the high school football season. Lights are on here at Walkersville High School. Sun is setting behind us. What a wonderful place for football. It has that really nice high school football feel, if that makes any sense. The small bleachers on the far side, the big bleachers below us. Perfect looking turf. It's got a mixture of old and new school to it. Quarterback keeper off the outside of Brooks. He runs to the near sideline where there's room, cuts back middle on the near hash mark, leans forward, picked up 4 as he is tackled from behind by Davey Snyder, who had a rushing touchdown on the last drive.
Again, good team defense by the Cavaliers to turn that play in. Brooks earned every yard of that.
2nd and 7 from the 34. Brooks shotgun near hash, claps his hands once. 2 receivers up top. They're Martin and Grant. Now Brooks looks to the sideline, gets his signal from Coach Thompson, has a look at the wristband, and makes his decision. To his right is Amarell. Big full back in front of Amarell. Empty to the left side. Brooks snaps, rolls right, 4 rush. Brooks looking down the middle. He's eyeing Martin and makes the catch at the 25. Off to the races and pulled down from behind at the 15.
Yep, you kind of pick your poison if you're Cavaliers. You got to stop the run, and then you just put your defensive backs in a one-on-one situation, and there's a lot of speed out there for the Walkersville Lions. And there's wideouts.
Nice tackle from behind. I thought the moment Martin made that catch, he was going to the house. Justin Jones on the tackle. Save it a touchdown. Under 7, 1st and 10. Under 7 left in the first half. Up by 7's Walkersville. They're inside the red zone of the 15 of South Carroll. Far hash mark. Shotgun. Brooks claps once, now twice. Turns. Hands off Amarell. Off the right side. Defense applies pressure and pulls him down behind the line. Nicely done. Grady Conway was in the backfield along with Anthony Rodriguez as well.
Yep. Blitzing linebacker Rodriguez stuffs that run, and we have a Walkersville guy trying to get up.
Impressive pressure from the Cavaliers. Clock stops at 6:32 left in the first half. It is now 2nd and 11 from the 14. And a player for Walkersville is getting worked on. We'll go ahead and take a break with them with a player getting looked at for Walkersville. 6:32 left. We'll take a break here on Cool Oldies 1450 and the Frederick County Sports Connection.
Lunch and dinner. Everyone eats at Thurmont Country Kitchen, conveniently located just off Route 15 on Water Street in downtown Thurmont. Stop by today and check out their mouth-watering chicken and waffles, or one of their signature sandwiches piled high with fabulous fixins. And don't forget their legendary roasted chicken. Thurmont Country Kitchen. Let owners Rob and Sherry cook you a meal you won't soon forget. Thurmont Country Kitchen. We put the K in country because that's our style.
Lions threatening, 2nd and 11 on the 15 of South Carroll. 6:10 left to go in the shotgun. It's a quarterback, Brooks. He rolls to his left, going to keep it himself off the left tackle, outside the hash marks near side, running along the numbers, inside the 10, slides down, tackled from behind at the 5, gaining 9 is Owen Brooks, his longest run today.
Design quarterback sweep, a lot of blockers in front of him. Owen picks his way to the 5. And it looks like we got 3rd and very short for the Lions.
So the Lions need to reach the 4. They're at the 5, working right to left of the Cavaliers in their home purple uniforms. Under center is Brooks. Brooks in the I formation just keeps himself, runs behind Braden Mitchell, pushes forward, and it is in the end zone for a touchdown. Owen Brooks, the quarterback keeper from 5 yards out, rushes in as the ambulance and fire truck show off their lights. The horn sounds. It's 20-0 Lions on 20-7. Lions on top.
What a great push by that offensive line. You don't always see a 5-yard quarterback sneak on the goal line. But nice push.
Braden Mitchell, Corbin Gilbert, Isaiah Trish in front of him, applying the pressure and leading the way. Now the Lions try to go back up by 2 touchdowns, and it's going to be Colton Amaral kicking, I believe, and it is through. He does it all. 2 rushing touchdowns, 2-point conversion, and now the extra point for Colton Amaral. So 5.5 left. 21-7, Walkersville leading South Carroll on Cool News 1450 in the Frederick County Sports Connection.
Is the leader in high school sports broadcasting. Since 2008, we have broadcast more high school sporting events than any radio station in the 4-state area. Football, basketball, baseball, and softball. Regular season playoffs and state championships from Southern PA to Brunswick, the Western Mountains of Maryland to the Eastern Shore. Cool Oldies 1450 THU is #1 in high school sports broadcasting.
Under 6 left to go in the first half. Walkersville leading South Carroll 21-7. 3 impressive drives for the Lions.
80 yards, 85 yards, 85 yards, some big plays, just great offensive line play by the Lions.
Good combination. Brooks at quarterback, Amaral as the running back. Split kick fielded by the up back for South Carroll. He runs horizontally, now straight forward, far side of the hash, and he's pulled down to the 41. I believe Brennan Harrison, their star linebacker, who's got a couple tackles already, was on the kick return out to the 41. And that is where the road team wearing white uniforms, the Cavaliers, take over down by 2 touchdowns, trying to duplicate what they did on their last drive, which ended in a Davey Snyder 1-yard rushing touchdown on 4th and goal. In the back this time it's Rodriguez. Braden Masalewski, who's been impressive with the shotgun. The snap looks left, quick pass in the slot. It is caught. Racing forward, past the first down in the Lions' territory to the 47 is the receiver. I believe that was Gills. I want to double check though. Yep, that was Gills with his 3rd catch.
Yep, the exact same turn in from that slot position. Walkersville has to make an adjustment.
Now Gills reverses side of the near side in the hash, or in the slot, and pressures Masalewski, and he is hit with 1, now 2, and finally tossed to the turf in the backfield. Masalewski goes down, sacked for the 3rd time.
3 Walkersville Lions had their shot at Masalewski. Mitchell brings him to the turf.
Braden Mitchell playing center, playing defensive lineman. He's been great at blocking and now has a sack to add to his night. 2nd and 17, the 3rd sack on Masalewski as he drops back in the shotgun for rush. Has time, now steps up under pressure from behind, rolls out to his right side in a sumo wrestle to the turf this time. Ian Barr pulled him down.
The defensive line pressure again forces Masalewski out of the pocket. Linebacker Ian Barr from his coverage comes up and wrestles him down. Short gain, sets up a 3rd and long.
2nd tackle near the line of scrimmage for Barr. It is a pickup, but 3rd and very long, 3rd and 14.
I believe we have an injury that we'll talk about as we come through, not to speculate a whole lot, but Owen Brooks appears to be injured after that quarterback sneak for a touchdown.
That is something to keep in mind. Exactly 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Walkersville up by 2 touchdowns. 3rd and 14 from their own 48 for South Carroll on the near hash mark. In the shotgun, Masalewski. Out there with him is Rodriguez. Bunch formation left side. Rushing 5 of the Lions. Again under pressure. Masalewski keeps it up the middle this time. Leaps over the defender. Falls forward at the 45 of Walkersville. Still about 70 yards short as he headfirst dove over the defensive secondary linebacker as he tried to make the tackle.
Yeah, nice positive play there by the quarterback Masalewski, which actually gives the coaching staff the option of going for it. They are in Walkersville territory, and again, the way Walkersville is moving the ball, they're not going to punt the football right here.
4th and 8 from the 45 of the Lions. Cavaliers looking for another big 4th down pickup as we approach halftime. 3:10 and ticking left in this first half. Mazalewski. Behind him is Rodriguez in the backfield. One receiver up top, three down low, including Gills, who's been the top target. He is in the slot. Mazalewski's rolling out, looking down the field, passes near sideline. It is caught close to the first down, and it is a first down for Jackson Costos, making a second catch tonight, falling to his knees at the 36.
It's just enough, well executed, wide receiver down, turns out a yard beyond the spot they needed. First down, Cavaliers.
Mazalewski quick snap, handoff in the backfield. Rodriguez hit the line, breaks to the outside, stays on his feet, gets out of one tackle, and now tight ropes down the right side, tries to leap over the defender at the 21, and that's where he's taken down. It looked like, I thought his knee was down, but that wasn't the call.
Well, and I'm not sure that I saw a knee down. I thought I saw him put the ball down to keep his balance up, which would put him down, but no call from the referees. A great individual effort on Anthony Rodriguez's part. First down, Cavaliers.
First and 10 from the 20. 2:45 left. Mazalewski keeps himself straight up the middle. It is up and it hit hip high at the 10 as he tried to spin past the defensive secondary. As he gains 9, second and 1 from the 10. Once again inside the red zone are the Cavaliers. Mazalewski near hash mark of the shotgun. Left is Rodriguez. That's where the ball goes off the right tackle. Rodriguez tries to cut back. Hit, spun, stays up, and he's going to be short, I think, by a yard. Got to the 10. Has to reach the 9. A third down and 1 coming up. Barr in on the tackle. He cleaned up the mess. Now Mazalewski with Rodriguez to his right, a pair of receivers up top, looking left, that's where he throws, and it's deflected, incomplete. Pressure from Max Burke, who got a finger on it.
Yeah, beautiful play from his defensive end position. Looks like the Cavaliers were going to convert with that little short pitch and catch. Burke knocks it out of the air.
Now 4th and 1, 2:01 left first half. 21-7, Cavaliers trailing by 4 in the red zone of Walkersville. At the 15, or rather the 10, they need to reach the 9.
Yep, 4th and 1. Walkersville brings in an extra defensive lineman, replaces a D-back. A little more pressure right up the middle here.
So, really 5 down linemen, 4 linebackers,
and
they jump.
Offsides on somebody, and it's going to probably be against the Lions, it looks like.
Good discipline by the Cavaliers there. The hard count by Mazalewski causes the Lions to jump.
That leads to a first down, moves the ball to the 4-yard line. So, Cavaliers, 2:01 left, and they got a great shot here of making this a 1-touchdown game. Despite how dominant Walkersville's been offensively, Cavaliers hanging in there.
And I see the Walkersville quarterback with no pads on and ice on his right shoulder. So there's going to be a game plan adjustment for the Lions when they get the ball back offensively.
We'll have to wait and see how the Lions handle that. Okay, first and goal from the 4. Mazalewski, the quarterback for the Cavaliers, in the shotgun. Gills in motion right to left. Mazalewski passes up the middle, and it's caught in the end zone for a touchdown. Nick Pizzuto, 52 receiving yards last week, his first TD of the season, and the Cavaliers are within a touchdown if they can convert on this extra point.
Yeah, there's no quitting the Cavaliers. Boy, they're really coming back. Rodriguez with that great strong run really keeps the momentum for South Carroll.
Mike Frey, who's been steady, getting set to kick the extra point. Lined up at his 10, there's the snap. The hold is good, kick is low, but it is through. 21-14. So the Lions feel like they've been in control this entire game, only up by a touchdown with 1:57 left to go in the first half. We will break on Cool Oldies 1450, the Frederick County Sports Connection.
Today at 301-898-36
marching our way to halftime as the Lions lead by 7. One more drive coming up. The question is, who will play quarterback? As Coach Rick Little noticed Owen Brooks on the sideline with ice on his shoulder.
During pregame, Max Berth was throwing passes along with Owen Brooks.
Kick is back to the goal line in a fair catch touchback.
Yep.
As it goes out of the end zone, Messiah Martin letting it go, and now the Lions come out with 2 minutes to work with, up by 7, and a new quarterback. It is going to be number 4, Max Berth.
Let's see if the game plan changes much for the Lions with the tight end / outside linebacker defensive end for the Walkersville Lions now playing quarterback.
The Cavaliers gave up over 250 rushing yards last week. They've had a hard time stopping Colton Amaral. And now a timeout is taken. It's taken by South Carolina. I wonder if they noticed that Brooks wasn't at quarterback and decided to take a timeout to change their strategy.
They've been trying to run stop the entire game, so shouldn't be too much change to strategy. I'm thinking if Walkersville ran with Brooks at quarterback, they're certainly going to run with Max Berth at quarterback. Out of town scoreboard while we got a minute. Middletown went to Kent Allen, 2 of the top 2A programs in the state lately, and Middletown leads at the half 13-10. Very competitive game. And I have no other scores updating at this time.
We'll keep an eye on them as Walkersville comes out of the timeout, working right to left. Home purple uniforms in between the hash marks at the 20 after the touchback and timeout, up by 7. Under 2 left in the first half. Max Berth is in at quarterback. Let's see how Walkersville plays it. He fumbles the handoff to Colin Amaral, and Amaral lands on top of it. That can happen sometimes when you got a new quarterback in there.
You don't get your reps at practice, the timing's a little bit off. Smart play by Colton just to cover it rather than trying to scoop and try to make something out of the play.
2 timeouts left for both teams. Clock is moving. 90 seconds left in the first half. Walkersville up by 7 with the ball. Berth, the quarterback.
And again, snap.
A bobble snap. This time it is to the running back, Amaral, off the left tackle. He's hit and pulled down at the line of scrimmage. Really, he lost yardage there. He lost 5 yards on the play. And it brings up a 3rd down.
And South Carroll takes advantage and calls timeout, try to save some time so they can get the ball back into their quarterback's hands.
I should say 5 yards lost over the last 2 plays. It's now 3rd and 15 with 1:13 left. And you're right there, Coach. All of a sudden, South Carroll's thinking, okay, get a stop here. You'll probably have to blow your last time out, but at least make it tough and make Walkersville have to punt the football.
Yep, they can use their timeout here. And they'll have a minute and 10 seconds to play or so. Tuscarora, I don't see a score.
Tuscarora, 19-14, Tuscarora over Brunswick.
19-14, Tuscarora leads Brunswick at the half.
21-14 here at Walkersville High School. Lions with their secondary quarterback, Max Berth. That's a big storyline. Their starter, Owen Brooks, is out. Berth is in at the 20, 3rd and 15. Again, a low snap.
Drops it again.
Again drop. Down it to Amaral, and he's turned and tossed to the ground in the backfield, losing 3. Great pressure from the linebacking core of the Cavaliers. Brennan Harrison, Grady Conway applying the pressure. 4th and 20 coming up for Walkersville inside their own 15, and with 1:03 and the final timeout blown by South Carroll, but it forces the Lions to punt from very deep in their own territory.
Yeah, and don't have a real good angle from here, but the snaps maybe are a little low, but I'm not sure why Max is not handling those, at least to keep a hold of them and hand them off to Colton.
Owen Brooks, the starting quarterback, is on the sideline with his pads off, shoulder ice. Of course, he is making a comeback this year after having shoulder surgery, so always something to keep in mind. Brooks has had a great start to the year. We hope he's okay.
Yeah, and it was week 3 last year that he went down with his shoulder injury and out for the season. Hopefully it's not a repeat here in week 2.
Max Berth, the quarterback. But right now, Lions are going to be forced to punt. It is Amarell in his own end zone, straight on the near hash mark, where he is standing maybe a yard of the end zone, takes a snap, here's the kick, it is away. It's going to bounce at the 40 for Walkersville, rolls to the 45, now 46, almost hit a South Carroll player, but falls harmlessly at the 46 of the Lions, and with 1:02 left, all of a sudden, a couple quick strikes, and the Cavaliers can tie this up before halftime.
And as efficient as the South Carroll offense has been, Mazalewski passing and running 46 yards in a minute and 2. Yes, no timeouts, but the clock does stop in high school football to move the chains on a first down.
A complete change of momentum. Walkersville was leading 21-7. It felt really good, but their quarterback goes down, and now Cavaliers, after a touchdown and a quick stop, they can tie it before halftime. Mazalewski shotgun back to his left with two receivers split either side. Snap, drops back, has some time, whips it up the middle, almost picked up, coming across and through the fingertips. Woo! I believe that was Kai Sawai.
Yes, that ball nearly picked off, and Kai had a running start. That could have been a race to the end zone, but falls to the turf, second down. Cavaliers live for another play.
At the 46 of the Lions, 57 seconds remaining first half, 21-14. Cavaliers trailing by 7, a chance to tie it before we go to break. Week 2 of the regular season, Lions 1-0. Cavaliers looking for their first win. At midfield on top of the purple W, Mazalewski, the quarterback, quick snap, passes left side, and it's caught in the flat. Receiver breaks a tackle, lunges forward, picked up 7 to the 38. Now 3rd and 4 coming up with 45 and counting.
Again, from that slot position, they find the weak spot. Nice game.
I believe that was Gillis. Mazalewski on the far hash, drops back off the snap, under pressure on both sides, rolls to his right, creates some time, angling sideline, gets past one, tries to cut back to the middle, lunges for the first down, and he got it. Dove to the 34, stretching out the ball. 26 seconds left.
Mazalewski elusive. Walkersville had him in his sights 2 or 3 times and missed him.
Mazalewski, as the clock starts with the referee signal, quick spike with 23 seconds remaining in the half.
Yep, bring up 2nd and 10 for the Cavaliers.
So Cavaliers at least stop the clock. They can catch their breath. 2nd and 10 from the 34, trying to tie it before halftime. Mazalewski, really good first half, 1 passing touchdown. Has led his team to 2 scores. Davey Snyder had the rushing touchdown. On the near hash mark, South Carroll with the ball. Nervous time here, I think, for the Lions, considering with Brooks potentially being out, and now...
Yep, it's up to the defense.
Yep.
Basically to win this game now.
Mazalewski, near side shotgun. Receiver in the slot left side, but his top target, Gillis. That's where he turns and looks. Nobody's open. So Mazalewski keeps himself up the middle, spins, breaks a tackle, tries to cut back to the far side, falls forward to the 25. Close to a first, gaining 9. Third and 1.
Third down.
Clock is ticking. 6 seconds. Now 5 seconds. Mazalewski spikes it with 4 seconds left. So 4th and 1 from the 25. They need to reach the 24.
Now, if that young man that kicks off can kick field goals, we know his leg's strong enough. I'm not sure about their extra point kicker. He's not quite as strong-legged. But if not, this ball has to go to the end zone.
Well, Mazalewski already has 1 passing touchdown. He already has 1 passing play over 40 yards. He's got the big target, Jake Miller, 6'4", tall tight end, wide receiver combo wearing number 2. We're keeping a close eye on him. He is in the huddle as Mazalewski and company break with 4 seconds left, down by 7. Miller is on the far side of the field. Watch out for him. 3 receivers near side. Ball on the far hash. Mazalewski the snap, dropping back, looking right, passes up the middle, and it is incomplete. Mazalewski throwing up his hands. He wanted a pass interference call. Does not get it. The clock says 0, and we have reached halftime. So at least for the moment, the Lions dodge 1 bullet.
Yep. Deep pass defense made a nice play there, but we'll have to see what Coach Thompson and the Lions do at halftime to regroup. This game's far from over, and high likelihood Brooks will not return the way it looks, so they'll have to make an offensive adjustment They'll have to fix that shotgun exchange to Max Burke, make sure he's comfortable handling it. Last year when they were in this situation in Walkersville, they just went to a wildcat situation, moved the running back over and just snapped it to him, and they just played offense that way. And Colton's a good little athlete. He plays shortstop on the baseball team, so he can throw the ball too.
Plenty to keep in mind for the second half of Week 2. Lions leading 21-14 against the South Carroll Cavaliers. We will break for halftime here on Cool Oldies 1450 and the Frederick County Sports Connection.
I'm Ted Linder. The manhunt continues for the gunman responsible for the deadly shooting of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Utah Governor Spencer Cox on Thursday evening saying the public's been very helpful.
So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing.
At a press conference Thursday night, new video of the suspect jumping off the roof following the shooting was released. And the U.S. appeals courts ruled that the Trump administration can temporarily block Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood as the legal battles continue. A lower court had previously ordered that funding continue as Planned Parenthood challenges efforts by the administration to defund it, a move tied to President Trump's signature tax legislation. America's listening to Fox News.
Good morning, this is Julio Flores. The Nationals held on to pick up a win. Washington beat the Miami Marlins 7-5 to secure the fourth victory in a row. Josh Bell went 1 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs, while Dalen Lyle added a solo shot. Mitchell Parker allowed 2 runs over 7 2/3 innings to secure the win on the mound, and Jose Ferreira picked up his 8th save. The teams will continue their series tonight. The Mystics lost their final game of the season. Washington fell to the New York Liberty 75-66 on the road. Kiki Arifian led the way with 16 points, while Shakira Austin and Sonia Citron each scored 13 points. The Mystics ended the season on a 10-game losing streak and a record of 16-28. The Maryland football team will play its 3rd straight home game this week. The Terrapins will play in-state foe Townsend on Saturday. UM is 3-0 all-time against the Tigers for their last meeting coming in 2023. And that's sports. I'm Lou Flores on the Maryland News Network.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dog here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Breeze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
Here's your local news for the Cool Oldies 1450 listening area. A digital fiber optics company, LightPath, came before a Thurmont Town special exception hearing on Thursday evening to testify about their plans to buy the land and building on 10 Radio Lane in Thurmont, owned by WTHU General Manager Michael Betteridge. The exception was denied 4-0 by the committee, ending LightPath's attempt to put a fiber booster station on the site. 8 town residents testified that they did not want a commercial building in their backyards because it would detract from the open, natural setting. It was pointed out that a commercial building, a 200-foot tower, and 2 large satellite dishes have been on that property for decades. Regardless, the hearing officers each remarked that LightPath had not done a good job of calming the public's fears and that there were too many unanswered questions to move forward. The sales agreement between LightPath and Mr. Betteridge was canceled. The 5.3-acre property will remain on the real estate market. Keep it tuned right here for late-breaking news, weather, and traffic on Cool Oldies 1450 THU.
At
At Amber Hill Therapy Centers, our goal is to provide you with a customized treatment plan using advanced physical therapy and occupational therapy methods and technology. With offices conveniently located in Thurmont and throughout Frederick County, Amber Hill Therapy Centers specializes in sports injuries and sports rehab, back pain, post-surgical rehab, and more. We accept all major insurance plans. Amber Hill Therapy Centers treats patients of all ages who receive care from our highly skilled therapists and staff. For more information on Amber Hill Therapy Centers, check out our website at amberhillpt.com. Amber Hill Therapy Centers, where the patients come first.
Amber Hill Therapy Center is a proud sponsor of Frederick County High School athletics on the radio.
How can you measure the value of education-based athletics? Well, the value is in what makes it invaluable. That's because school sports aren't just about winning. They're about learning and growing. School sports aren't just about gaining trophies and accolades. They're about learning life lessons, bringing a whole community together, developing character and integrity, having coaches who mentor you, and teammates who become lifelong friends. And you can't put a price on any of that. That's what makes education-based athletics invaluable. Of course, when you participate in school sports, you want to win and become a better athlete, but the purpose is so much greater, becoming a better person. Support your local school sports programs. And if you have a student, encourage them to get involved.
This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Do you love going on a cruise, or have you always dreamt on going on the cruise vacation of your life? With dozens of cruise companies, who do you call to find the right vacation and deal for you? Now you can make one phone call and shop all the best deals on every single cruise line in the world. You can't get that by calling one cruise line. We have them all, with experts that know the ins and outs of every cruise ship and can tell you the best cruise for your vacation needs. Our cruise packages start at $149. Plus, we offer free internet, free guest packages, and cash-back deals. So now is your chance to book the cruise of your lifetime. Call the cruise hotline right now and shop every single cruise line in the world. Here's the number. 800-514-9170. 800-514-9170. 800-514-9170. That's 800-514-9170.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in the classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Maryland's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Maryland Public Secondary Schools Athletic Association and the Maryland State Athletic Directors Association.
There's a new way to travel, and it's one of the oldest forms of transportation. Travel by train. Yes, consider traveling around the United States on Amtrak. Traveling by train is a lot less of a headache than taking a plane, and you'd be surprised how many places you can go on an Amtrak. And there's no passports or IDs needed. Find out how to get where you're going as soon as tomorrow by train. Call the Amtrak Travel Hotline right now. We'll book your trip and email your tickets within minutes. Skip the drive to the airport and skip the lines. Call right now to book your Amtrak reservations. We service most of the United States. Do something new. Travel by Amtrak today.
800-328-4046. 800-328-4046. 800-328-4046. That's 800-328-4046.
Our local American Legion Post 168 in Thurmont is amazing. Not only do they support local high school sports on the radio, but they have great food, great fun, and they constantly serve our community in so many ways. Check out their Facebook page, American Legion Post 168, to find out about their exciting events. And be sure to say thank you for supporting our local community. And don't you forget to say thank you every time you see them for their selfless sacrifice in military service to our country. Thanks, American Legion Post 168. We salute you.
Center of Life Chiropractic has moved. That's right. Dr. John and his team have moved out behind his old office to the new office on 103 Park Avenue in Thurmont. You can still park in the back lot and walk across Park Avenue to his office. Center of Life Chiropractic is open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. To check out their schedule, go to centeroflife.us. Once again, that's centeroflife.us. Back pain, neck pain, rehab, and more. Dr. John is the best there is. Stop by Center of Life Chiropractic and get an adjustment to your life today.
Going on a cruise, or have you always dreamt on going on the cruise vacation of your life? With dozens of cruise companies, who do you call to find the right vacation and deal for you? Now you can make one phone call and shop all the best deals on every single cruise line in the world. You can't get that by calling one cruise line. We have them all, with experts that know the ins and outs of every cruise ship. They can tell you the best cruise for your vacation needs. Our cruise packages start at $149. Plus, we offer free internet, free gas packages, and cash bag deals. So now is your chance to book the cruise of your lifetime. Call the cruise hotline right now and shop every single cruise line in the world. Here's the number. 800-514-9170. 800-514-9170. 800-514-9170. That's 800-514-9170. At Amber Hill Therapy Centers, our goal is to provide you with a customized treatment plan using advanced physical therapy and occupational therapy methods and technology. With offices conveniently located in Thurmont and throughout Frederick County, Amber Hill Therapy Centers specializes in sports injuries and sports rehab, back pain, post-surgical rehab, and more. We accept all major insurance plans. Amber Hill Therapy Centers treats patients of all ages who receive care from our highly skilled therapists and staff. For more information on Amber Hill Therapy Centers, check out our website at amberhillpt.com. Amber Hill Therapy Centers, where the patients come first. Amber Hill Therapy Center is a proud sponsor of Frederick County High School Athletics on the radio. Our local American Legion Post 168 in Thurmont is amazing. Not only do they support local high school sports on the radio, but they have great food, great fun, and they constantly serve our community in so many ways. Check out their Facebook page, American Legion Post 168, to find out about their exciting events. And be sure to say thank you for supporting our local community. And don't you forget to say thank you every time you see them for their selfless sacrifice in military service to our country. Thanks, American Legion Post 168. We salute you. You have a list of things
Bring you back to Walkersville High School on Cooley's 1450 and for the Frederick County Sports Connection. Ryan Pierce with me as Coach Rick Little. We're getting set for the second half of action. It is Walkersville 21, the South Carroll Cavaliers 14. The big story from that first half, despite all the offense, Coach, is the health of Owen Brooks, the quarterback. We're keeping a close eye on him for Walkersville and seeing if he's going to be okay for the second half.
Well, he put his pads on. The ice pack was on his right shoulder, so we'll see if he's going to be a quarterback just to catch the snap and hand off, or he's actually going to be an offensive threat to throw the football.
If Walkersville has to focus on running, it's gone pretty well so far. Colton Amarell, big first half. And also last week, South Carroll had a hard time stopping the run, and that's carried over. So the running game, that might be the way to go if you are the Lions tonight.
Yeah, Colton with 78 yards rushing on 10 carries, and including the 2 touchdowns. So offense has not been an issue for the Walkersville Lions. It's actually containing Mazalewski, the quarterback for the South Carroll Cavaliers.
He's good. Brandon Mazalewski making just his third start. The junior had a nice week last week, 9 completions, 2 for touchdowns. He's got a couple big plays in this game, including a rushing touchdown. Davey Snyder has the other, but he can beat you on the ground. He's got a good arm and the quick pass. Those are usually on target.
Yeah, and in the backfield when he takes off, he's slippery, he's elusive. Walkersville's getting great pressure from their front four whenever Cavaliers do try to pass. And I'm impressed with Rodriguez, who's just back from injury. Hard running for him and keeping drives alive, making plays. I think there's no quit in the Cavaliers, but one thing we'll also watch is they start 9 players both sides of the ball. So will fatigue come into play? You almost have to think that was part of last week's game against Glen Elg, who they were 14-14 into half and then lost 37-14, I believe, or something like that. So, you'd have to assume they ran out of gas. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But the big challenge is going to be for Walkersville's defense. If Owen Brooks can't really be a passing threat, generating offense could be a challenge for the Lions. So that means the defense is going to have to contain the Cavaliers.
Coach Mike Crumley mentioned to you earlier this week that they conditioned quite hard in the offseason for that very reason. It's because they have 9 players who go both ways, and fatigue may start to settle in here for South Carroll, but they're hanging in it, down by 1 touchdown, 21-14 at the half, as both teams start to send their players out on the field to get set for this second half of action. For Walkersville, if they want to come out and hold on to this lead, what are the keys for them outside of, I guess, making sure the quarterback Brooks is healthy here in the second half?
Defense. Somehow they got to get Mazalewski off the field, contain his scrambles, because he's really hurting them and keeping drives alive when he gets out of the pocket.
South Carroll will start with the ball in this second half, down by a touchdown, with momentum on their side, working right to left in their white road uniforms. Walkersville in the dark blues. They will be playing defense to start with the lights fully turned on, and it's officially full-on Friday night lights here at Walkersville High School. What a pretty evening. Temperatures in the 70s. Good-sized crowd, lots of blue shirts and blue uniforms below us. The student section down to our right in front of the cheerleaders, many of them in patriotic attire with the stars and stripes on their clothing. As Walkersville is set to kick off, crowd rises, their energy grows.
Yeah, I even saw a Statue of Liberty there in the student section of Walkersville.
Oh, she made her way from New York. That's so nice. Great that she's here this evening. Short kick. It's a pooch kick, and it's a fair catch at the 43. Their own 43 for South Carroll, and that is where the Cavaliers take over to start this second half, down by a touchdown, week 2 of the high school football season.
Ryan Stankiewicz with a very smart play there on that short kick to call for the fair catch, avoid the contact. Hey, over Kent Allen, Middletown, 27-10, putting it on them there. Linganore 29-0 over Meade. Oakdale 49-0 over Thomas Johnson.
Brandon Mazalewski in the shotgun as we have more scores coming in between the hash marks, working right to left. Quarterback keeper. Mazalewski off the left guard, lowers the shoulder, keeps the feet moving and falls forward to the 47, picking up 5, halfway to a first down.
Nicholas Spradlin there on the bottom of the pile for the Lions. Good pickup on first down.
Mazalewski, not necessarily a big quarterback, 5'11", 175. I mean, I'm thinking he's about my height, maybe an inch shorter. My size, I wouldn't be pressing forward like that against these big linemen, but Mazalewski's a lot tougher than me. As he's in the shotgun near hash mark, 2nd and 5 from the 47. Back to his right, 3 receivers up top, 1 down low. Walkersville rushes for Mazalewski to the right, under pressure, and he goes down to the backfield, sack number 4 for the Lions, back to the 45, a loss of 3.
Max Berth from that defensive end position. Good pressure. Wraps up Mazalewski. Drops him for that 2-yard loss.
It's a second tackle for a loss. This time a sack for Max Berth, who played a little quarterback with Owen Brooks banged up in the first half at the end there. 3rd and 8 from the 45. Cavaliers have to reach the 47 for Walkersville. Clock ticking, just underway in the third quarter. 10:44 left. 21-14. Lions on top of the Cavaliers. Mazalewski, who's had a couple passes over 15 yards, 1 for 40 in the shotgun. 3 receivers up top, including his top target tonight, Gillis, who's in the slot. In motion right to left, the big tight end receiver, Jake Miller, 6'4", lining on the outside near the sideline. Now in motion left to right is Jaden Coscos. It's an end around to Coscos. He wants to pass, now has to cut back under a ton of pressure. Coming to us.
Oh, what a play.
Ankle high with a defensive back for a loss of at least 5 or 6.
I did not even see Ian Barr closing. He was like a jet. Knocked down the Cavalier for a loss. Big first sequence by the Walkersville defense to force the punt.
Ian Barr's 3rd tackle for a loss tonight. Walkersville's defense, which is what we talked about a halftime, Coach. It is their turn to step up, leading 21-14, 9:40 left in the 3rd, and they do on that first drive. Snap, kick, up, high. Left side, good punt. Bounces at the 25, takes a really nice roll for South Carroll. Rolls to the 22.
Yep, nice angle. Yep, nice angle kick there, high, no return. Walkersville, first half, 3 long drives for their touchdown, and they're going to have to do it again with that nice punt. Sets them back to the 22.
Under the dark blue sky, Walkersville takes over. What was it, 80 yards, 85 yards, 86 yards, something like that in the first half for touchdowns. At their own 22, near hash mark, looking to see who the quarterback is.
It is indeed Owen Brooks.
So Brooks is out there. He had an ice pack on his right shoulder and his pads off at the end of the first half. The quarterback is back out with Amarell to his left side. 9:28 left in the 3rd. Brooks the shotgun, drops back, throws left. He's throwing. Pass in the slot. It is caught. The receiver is trying to move on the far side. He's still on his feet. Down the far sideline. Pass the first down at the 38. Picking up 13 on the pass from Brooks. Damian Grant, the reception, is 3rd tonight, earning 13 yards.
Isaiah Martin with the block again. A little combo out there. The pitch and catch. Almost a split end screen. Sorry, Ryan.
You're fine there, Coach.
It's basically 2-on-2, and Walkersville makes the play, moves the chains. Nice gain on first downs.
Grant and Martin are the 2 receivers. They're by themselves near to the right side. It is 2-on-2. There's really no safety behind the defensive backs with 8 in the box for South Carroll. Handoff goes to Amarell. He has room left side into the secondary. Pass the first down. Down the far sideline of the 40. 35, 30, 20 where he's tossed out of bounds. Big pickup for Amarell all the way down inside the red zone of South Carroll.
About a 50-yard run off the left side. Great blocking at the point of attack. You know, last week Walkersville played with 3 wide receivers most of the time. It looks like they're running with a tight end this time. That time they run to the tight end side. Big game.
Inside the red zone, 1st and 10 at the 18, 8:38 left to go, 3rd quarter. Walkersville up by 7, trying to double that.
Yep, Max Berth is in that lineup over there. He's at tight end formation on the left side. Big Nicholas Spradlin at the fullback position.
Brooks in the gun. Back behind him's Amaral. The turn, the handoff to Amaral. He follows Brooks off the left side. Has some room. Down the left sideline. In the end zone for a touchdown.
18-yard touchdown run. Again, off that left side behind tight end Max Berth and leading the fullback, Nick Spradlin. Big answer for the Walkersville Lions to start the third quarter.
Colin Amaral's third rushing touchdown. You called it there, Coach. You saw it. Max Berth comes in, throws the lead block for Amaral, who races behind his linebacker, backup quarterback, fullback, playing a little bit of everything, and gets in for his third score tonight, the fourth of the season, with 8:31. Extra point pending. It's up and through. The Lions, wide left. Lions leading 27-14, just missing on the extra point. 27-14, 8:31 left to go in the third on Cool Oldies, 14-15.
Association and the high school in your community.
27-14, 8:31 remaining in the third quarter. Walkersville up by 13 against South Carroll. The Cavaliers had a pretty good stretch towards the end of the first half. They were stopped on a 3-and-out to begin the second half. We'll see if Walkersville's defense can repeat. Here's a good kick down the right side. Return to the 15. Now 20, 25, 30 at the hash mark, 35-40. Returner cuts back 43. Down at the 44. Fantastic return down the near hash mark by the return man. I believe that was number 21, Nicholas Pizzuto.
Yep, Pizzuto, one of the Cavalier captains. Got that deep kick, north and south running. Number 8, Justin Arndt, drags him down for the Lions.
If Pizzuto can break that tackle, he had a lot of space. He had already made a couple players miss. Nevertheless, 13-point disadvantage for South Carroll. 8:24 left in the third. They take over on their own 44. In the shotgun is Mazalewski, their star junior quarterback. Off the end to the running back, Rodriguez gets an angle on the far sideline, bumped out of bounds after gaining 6 or 7. Nice run by Rodriguez.
Yep. Cavaliers able to get around the edge on the right side. Rodriguez down the sidelines, bumped out of bounds.
I gave him a few extra yards, though. It's a gain of 4, so 2nd and 6. He was bumped out of the 48, has to reach the 46 of Walkersville. 48 for South Carroll in their own territory. On the far hash mark, underneath the lights, cool night, well, warm night, I guess you could say. Cool for maybe this part in September.
Almost perfect right now.
Really is, yeah. Really is. Hardly a cloud in the sky underneath the lights. As Mazalewski drops back, dumps off. It's a running back screen pass, and it's caught, and into the open field is the back, all the way out to the 48 near the far sideline, and finally being pulled down. Who was that? Was that Rodriguez again?
Yep.
Yes, on the catch and run.
Yep. I'll tell you what, South Carroll really executes their plays well. You know, that's one of the most difficult plays in high school football to execute is that screen play. You don't get linemen making mistakes. The timing has to be right to hit the running back. That was near perfect.
Kudos to Coach Crumbly and what he's done with this program. 7:45 left to go. Ambush made the tackle. 1st and 10 from the 38 of the Lions. South Carroll. In the shotgun is the quarterback, Mazalewski. Snap, turn, hands off this time. It's to Rodriguez. Tries to jut out to the outside, and it's broken up in the backfield. Another great play by this linebacking core for Walkersville. Kai Salai was in there for the tackle for a loss.
Yep. that front 3-5 for Walkersville, front 4, really kind of occupy the blockers and give free rein to the linebackers. And when they're aggressive and they're hitting the seams, you get a lot of that at the line of scrimmage or tackle for loss.
Rodriguez was able to lunge back to the line. 2nd and 10. Clock under 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Down by 13, South Carroll. Working right to left in Walkersville territory. Mazalewski shotgun. Rodriguez behind him. 2 receivers left and a pair up top. Play action. Mazalewski rolling left. Jersey pulled. Stays on his feet. Shoulder to the ground. Maybe picked up one. Could have been a sack and a loss of 10, but Mazalewski got by one would-be tackler. Couldn't get by a second at the 37.
Sets up 3rd and 9. I believe South Carroll, we've said this before, is in 4-down territory because they're already down 2 scores, and the way Walkersville's moving the ball offensively, you can't give up the football without trying to score another touchdown, keeping the drive alive here.
Cavalier.
If you go down 3 scores in high school football, it's typically over in the second half.
Cavaliers in between the hash marks. 2 receivers up top and 1 down or 2 down low, including in the slot. Their big 6'4" target, Jake Miller. Mazalewski shotgun back to his right. Hard count, and Walkersville looks like they jump. That's going to be a neutral zone infraction.
Another free 5 for the visiting team. And that's another coaching point, the discipline of the offensive team to stay set for those high counts. High school football, the linemen tend to just kind of lean forward a little bit. Great discipline.
Puts the ball at the 31 of the Lions. 3rd and 5 from there. Mazalewski shotgun. 2 receivers up top, 2 down low. In the slot on the right side is his top target, Jake Miller. Mazalewski racing to the right, pressure from behind, tries to keep it himself. Hit at the line, stays on his feet. He's got a first into the secondary, down to the 23-yard line of Walkersville before being tackled knee high.
Another great run, Braden. If you didn't know he was the quarterback watching him run, you think he's the running back. The way he's breaking tackles, eluding defenders.
Mazalewski snap, looking right now, left has some time, rolling out under pressure from behind, looking downfield, passes into the middle of the field, and it's caught at the 15. Cutting back to the middle is Jake Miller, and he's finally pulled down after gaining maybe 10 on the play, but a flag comes out. 5 to 10 on the pickup, looking to see where the marker is. May not matter, though, as there was a flag on the far side of the field at the 25, about where Mazalewski was running in the backfield, and it is a penalty on South Carroll, so they're going to march back with 4:44 left in the third, up by 13, as the official brings the ball all the way back to about the 26-yard line.
That was an illegal shift signal there by... I didn't see the flag come out right away, but that would have been right at the snap. Erases that nice play. I'll tell you, Braden had a lot of time to look around, found his favorite target, Jake, but plays erased. 1st and 15, Cavaliers.
From the 26 of the Lions, 4:30 left, Cavaliers down by 13, trying to hang in. Mazalewski shotgun, Rodriguez behind him, Jake Miller by himself to the left. Now he motions left to right in the slot. Mazalewski gives it off to Rodriguez, sweeping off the right side, cutting down the hash mark, bumped and knocked out at the 22. Gain 5 or 6, got back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Actually, looks like he about a 7-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 8 off that right side sweep. Jake Miller leading the way.
So the back, Rodriguez getting to the 18, 2nd and 7. From there has to reach the 11. On the far hash mark, clock ticking under 4 minutes left in the third. You said it, Coach. Massive possession for South Carroll. If they want to stay in this game, you need a touchdown. Mazalewski, far hash mark shotgun. He is standing at his own 25. Mazalewski with Rodriguez to his left, 2 receivers to his left. The snap, the drop back, has time, dancing in the backfield, rolling to his right, under pressure from behind, and a forearm push out of bounds. I think that will go as a sack. If it is, that is number 5 for Walkersville. I believe Max Berth was able to push Masalewski out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Max was hot on his heels. That was great pass coverage right there because there was plenty of time initially for Masalewski. He could not find anybody open, and then Max came from the backside, chased him out of bounds.
If it's not a sack, he certainly forced him out. A loss of a field brings up 3rd and 12. 3rd and 12 from the 22.
Got to cover that slot receiver.
Cavaliers need to reach the 10. Under 3:30 left, down by 13. They keep an eye on their top target, Jake Miller. He's on the near side. 4 down linemen, 3 in the box, 4-3 defense, Walkersville. The snap, faking the handoff, passing to the right side in the slot. It's caught by Pizzuto. It's a screen, and Walkersville not buying it. Big hit on Pizzuto. Maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage, picking up 3 or 4. Brings up 4th and 10 from the 22.
Ian Barr from his middle linebacker position quickly jumps out on that split end screen, knocks down the Cavalier receiver. Looks like we're going for a field goal attempt.
This would make it a 10-point game. We've seen the kicking team, the special teams kicker Mike Frey's got a good leg. He is at his 29. So a 37-yard field goal attempt. Snap down, kick is up. It may have been tipped because it rolls into the end zone and now through the back. Kick no good. Walkersville maintains their 13-point lead. It was deflected.
And the referees are signaling a deflection on the kick. Good penetration up the middle. I'm not sure if number 72, Alex Bernardoni, got his hand on it, but he was one of those Lions in the backfield.
Great pressure from the front for Walkersville, both defensively and special teams. And now they can really create serious separation, try to put this one away for all intents and purposes. Leading by 13, 3 minutes left in the third.
Yep. And you bring the defense back out on the field that somehow has to find a way to stop this Walkersville Lion offense.
250 rushing yards given up by South Carroll's defense last week. They were pretty good against the pass against Glen Elk. This week they've had a hard time stopping Colin Amarell, who has a handful, has 3 rushing touchdowns. Handoff goes to Amarell, off and running, off the left tackle, down to the 28, and that's a pickup of 12 and a first for Colton Amarell.
Colton is closing in on 200 yards here this evening.
A fantastic night for the receiver turned running back this year. Looked good last week, 85 yards, rushing touchdown, 2-point conversion. This week he's been unstoppable.
So South Carroll rips the helmet off of Braden Mitchell, the starting center for Walkersville, throws it down the field, no penalty, and then Braden Mitchell has to come out of the game because his helmet came off.
One of those times, maybe it's like you're in the lunchroom and you got that kid who throws trash and the teacher dismisses it. Out to the left side, off the sweep, and it'll be a first. Amarell, 5-yard pickup, needed just 2, out to the 35. Well, we approach the 2-minute mark in the third quarter.
Major credits to Jackson Myers, who came in a reserve role as center with a perfect snap to quarterback Owen Brooks to trigger that play.
Jackson Myers, he got that rare moment. He was ready, stepped in, always fun to see. Now the 35, make it the 34, far hash mark. Play is stopped as Walkersville comes set. 2 receivers on the near side. They are Damian Grant and Messiah Martin, both having nice nights. It's empty to their right. Screen pass over to Grant. Grant in the slot. Martin's blocking. Makes 1 tackle and miss. Up to the 42. It's a first down. Grant, nifty move to get up to 45.
And that's that 2-man play. They pitch it to Grant. Martin blocks. Grant runs. Walkersville moves the chains.
I might count that as 4 catches for Damian today. Had a couple last week. 140 and counting. Walkersville up by 13 as we approach the end of the third. Try to put this one on ice. Owen Brooks in the shotgun. Back to his left, fullback in front of him. The snap, the turn, the handoff to Amarell off the right tackle. He's got room into the secondary. Wrestled out of bounds at the 40 of South Carroll. Another strong run by Amarell. 15 yards on the pickup.
Off the right side that time. It's just following that offensive line, getting good push by the tight end, Max Berth. And the lead back, Nicholas Braden and Amaral clean to the second level. And that time it was one-on-one with quarterback turn, free safety, Mazalewski.
9 players play both ways for South Carroll. They're in great shape. Coaching staff really conditioned them well in the offseason, but always tough when you have to play that many minutes in a football game. 1:10 remaining in the third. 40-yard line. Brooks, shotgun, turns, hands off. Amaral straight up the middle, leaps over the line, lands at the 28 before he's tackled, gaining 2. It's nerve-wracking.
A little bit of push and shove late. So Amaral taps out. And that looks like number 10, Ray Birch. 5'9", 165-pound sophomore is going to take his spot in the backfield. 2nd and 8 from the 38. Near hash mark, Birch will be out there. Behind Owen Brooks, the 2 receivers on the far side, Martin and Damian Grant. Both have a nice evenings, empty to the right side. A possible option to run that direction. Brooks turns, fakes a handoff, logs it down the right side, overcooks the pass. He had a wide open Max Berth racing up the post, and he just missed him. So Max has been blocking the whole third quarter. That time he released, and there was nobody on the Cavalier side paying attention to him. Owen just missed him.
Amaral subs back in for Berth. 3rd and 8, 14 seconds left from the 38. 13-point lead for the Lions. That would have been an easy 6.
Yeah, if he catches that and stays on his feet.
Amaral back out. Low snap plucked off the turf by Brooks. Hands to Amaral. Breaks 1 tackle. Then a game tackle led by Davey Snyder.
There's a flag. And that might be a face mask the way Colton came off of that tackler.
The officials are discussing. A few Walkersville players are clapping their hands. Now the referee comes and is the bearer of bad news for South Carroll because it is a face mask with 3 seconds left. That leads to a first down and puts Walkersville near the red zone, leading by 13 as we approach the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, big situation. You hate to have penalties get into play, but sometimes it just happens.
Now the men in the zebra shirts will take the long walk into the South Carroll secondary and stop all the way at the 22. And that is the end of the third quarter. Lions leading by 13. Defense showed up in that third quarter for both teams. Walkersville though in position to put this one on ice. Up by 13 and marching when we come back on Cool Oldies 1450. Being set for the start of the fourth quarter. Ryan Pierce with me as Coach Rick Little on Cool Oldies 1450 in the Frederick County Sports Connection. Great to have you with us on this Friday night, the second week of the regular season. Walkersville trying to make this one a pretty much impossible comeback from South Carroll.
Yeah, and Walkersville, the big story of the third quarter to me is Walkersville pitched the shutout.
Yep.
You know, after giving up 2 second quarter touchdowns to the Cavaliers, they hold them off the scoreboard. The offense is able to manage another long drive led by the running of Colton Amaral to punch 1 touchdown in. A score here would be huge for the Lions.
Ball on the far hash at the 22. Low snap picked up by Brooks. Turns and hands off to Amaral. Runs behind the right guard. Hit hip high. Leans forward and tackled along the far hash mark, maybe gaining a yard or 2.
We talked about at the end of the half reserve quarterback, Max Worth, not handling snaps. Watching closely, a lot of those snaps seem to be a little low because even Owens bending down and catch them. Need to keep an eye on that. I don't know if that's he has nose guard right over top of him, causing a little issues there.
There are 5 on the line, 8 in the box for South Carroll. Quick hand off to Amaral, sweeping off the left side, cuts down the hash mark, hit, turn, lost. The ball shot up, and the white uniforms say they have it. The referee comes in, blows the play dead. What is the official call? There's a fight for to the last second. South Carroll seems to think they've got a fumble recovery as they are prancing off the field, and they did pick it up. A turnover in the red zone from Walkersville, and the Cavaliers still have life, down by 13, ripped out of the hands of Amaral and scooped up on the fumble recovery.
2 fumble recoveries last week for the Cavaliers. Their defense, they strip at that football. That one there, I'm pretty sure I was watching Mazgaluski do the ripping of the football as Amaral was fighting for extra yardage.
Well, Brandon Mazgaluski, great defensive secondary player. Look at some of his numbers from last year. Had about 6 tackles per game. He was actually a first-team All-County defensive back last year. He's a starting quarterback for South Carroll this season. Hands it off the left guard, cutting back, and hit his Davey Snyder. Minimal pickup. Now the crowd rises after the big defensive play from Walkersville.
Linebacker Ian Bark, solid hit. Snyder runs into a stone wall there. Short gain, if any, on that play.
10:50 left in the game. 27-14, Lions leading the Cavaliers. South Carroll working left to right in their white road uniforms in week 2 of the regular season. South Carroll trying to pick up their first win of the year. At the 16, 2 receivers either side. Near side is the top target, Jake Miller. Back to the left is Davey Snyder. Quarterback Mazgaluski, the snap, quick pass in the slot. Goes to Gills. Gills met at the line, tries to push forward, and he is stood up by the secondary for Walkersville.
Just that quick pitch to the slot. That time Walkersville closing quickly, led by Damian Grant. Holds him to a 3-yard gain.
Excellent play by Grant on the outside. So we approach the 10-minute mark at the 18. Cavaliers underneath the lights in front of the cheerleaders chanting. Big student section for Walkersville, all in red, white, and blue outfits. Snap Mazgaluski rolling to his left, looking down the field. He'll keep it himself. Gets a block from the receiver up the hash marks to the 25. Close to a first down. Quarterback keeper for Mazgaluski gets all the way out to the 25. And maybe second and short coming up, gain of 8 with 9:25 left. Or pardon me, 4th and short with 9:25 left in the 4th. Big play coming up.
Are they asking for the change, or are they just deciding it's because they're not moving yet? They move the ball in. Looks like it's 4th and about 1.
It's 4th down.
And I have not seen Mazgaluski's over talking to coach. He brings the play in.
Watch your hard count.
Yep. They've already gotten Walkersville on 2 hard counts.
Cavaliers really need this one to keep this going, to keep this competitive. Down by 13, 4th and short from their own 25. Mazgaluski is under center this time. Quarterback keeper, and the pressure pushed him back. I don't think he got it. It's got to be close. And now to add to the drama, a flag comes out late from the back judge. We'll sort it all out with 8:35 left in the 4th.
Sideline warning, or what do they call it? Penalty, aiding the runner. Not allowed to tush push in high school football.
So that is basically the tush push. So you would think Walkersville declines it, and I think they're going to, because that means they would then take over the football, assuming it's not a first down.
Right, well, they're going to measure to make sure it's not a first down, and then they'll make their decision.
Okay, so we got a measurement. The penalty was the tush push, so if this is a first down for the Cavaliers, it won't be a first down because then Walkersville will accept the penalty and they'll push it back. And if it's not a first down, then Walkersville gets the football.
Correct.
Measurement, chains are out, chain gang coming up to where the football is at.
It's very rare that they do it. It's either it can be just past it, right?
It looks like he is short of the line to gain, so ball's turned over on downs.
Walkersville takes over up by 13 at the 25 of the Cavaliers. Crowd's energy picks up on the call from the official saying they did not get there, did South Carroll. A little bit short.
So they'll decline the penalty and take the football on the Cavaliers' 25-yard line.
Lions can add to their lead, already up by 2 touchdowns. Trying to put this one on ice. I guess last week, Walkersville down, what was it, by 11 with 5 minutes left. They came back, won in overtime, so anything can happen. Lions know that better than anybody. Working right to left in the dark blue uniforms, and the play is blown dead.
Timeout.
A timeout taken by the Lions. 8:35 left, 27-14. Walkersville up by 13. We'll take a break with them on Cool Oldies 1450.
Dr. John Hageman at Center of Life Chiropractic and his wife Marcia at Center of Life Pilates for their many years of helping people in need and for the wonderful ways they give back to their community through scholarship and fundraising efforts. Center of Life. For information or to check out their schedule, go online to centeroflife.us today. That's Center of Life Chiropractic and Pilates. Make an adjustment to your life today.
8:35, week 2 of the high school football season. 8:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. 27-14, Walkersville leads South Carroll. Lions trying to win their first 2 games in the regular season for the 4th straight year. They're trying to close it out offensively right here. On the far hash mark. In the shotgun to turn the handoff. It goes to Amarillo, sweeping off the left side, outside the hash mark, cuts back, now outside the numbers, 15, 10, 5, spun down to the 3, Colton Amarillo, 22-yard pickup inside the 5.
When you combine good blocking at the point of attack and then elusive running, you turn that into a 20-yard run inside the 5. Nice play, Colton. Good blocking the point of attack. Walkersville in a double tight end formation. Just saying, we're coming at you. You got to stop us.
Ball marked to the 3. That's a tough task. Walkersville, dark blue uniforms, right to left, just inside the 5 of the 3. In the shotgun, or rather under centers, Brooks turns, hands off Amarillo, and he is through for a touchdown. If that is indeed Amarillo, that is number 4 today. 33-14. Lions in complete control at home in week 2. You can hear the crowd in the background going ballistic. You've got the fire engines, lights turned on. Great tradition here at Walkersville High School. They've been able to do that a handful of times thanks to Colton Amarillo. 2-point conversion. That is an easy in for Amarillo. Straight up the gut. What a night he is having. Lions lead 35-14.
So I have unofficially Colton for 4 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions, and an extra point kick.
He is doing it all, and he's playing good defense, I believe, from time to time. Amarillo, he has been a complete force. Let's do the math real quick. So 6 times 4, that's 24. Plus 4, that'd be 28. Plus the extra point, that's 29 of the 35 points. Young Colton Amarillo. Pretty good night.
Good math, Ryan. And Owen Brooks, the other touchdown, that was followed by the missed extra point.
It was not my strong suit, but I've gotten better. When it comes to sports, it just is easier for some reason. So Walkersville in good shape, trying to go to 2-0. I mean, props to the offense for South Carroll. They've been held in check in the second half. They had a great start, scoring 14 points in the first half, nearly scored 3 touchdowns. Trying to get back to basics. They've been able to drive, just haven't been able to finish drives over the past 12, 14 minutes.
Walkersville defense just coming up with a play when they need it to keep the Cavaliers off the scoreboard.
It was a hard kick off the hands of Brendan Harrison, who just falls on top of it. He's the up back. A linebacker was lined up at the 40 of South Carroll. He dropped back to the 28 to pick it up, and South Carroll starts there. Their own 38, down by 21. 8 minutes left to go as they try to stay alive in this game against the Lions.
See if they don't try to air this thing out. We haven't seen too many deep pass attempts here in the second half. And they were successful in the first half. They completed a few of those.
Lot of energy here at Walkersville High School tonight. They're feeling pretty good. Their team's up by 21. Mazalewski in the shotgun. His back to his left is Rodriguez. Now Rodriguez reverses to his right with 3 receivers left side. That's where more room is. Rodriguez straight up the middle, breaks 1 tackle, presses forward, and he's pulled down to the 40, earned 3 or 4 yards in the play with the clock ticking at 7:50 left.
Ian Barr rides him down. And Walkersville certainly will be content if they just play that kind of defense the rest of the way out, keep the clock running, 5-yard gains. Just nothing, no big chunk plays for the Cavaliers.
What a night for Ian Barr defensively. Multiple tackles for a loss. He had that big extra point, 2-point extra point saving tackle last week that won the game for Walkersville tonight. He's been great as their middle linebacker. Mazalewski under pressure, steps up, he runs it, breaks 1 tackle, run down by Barr. Jumping on top of him is a second defensive player, Kai Sawi, picking up the first so is Mazalewski, as he earned 10, 11 yards on the play to midfield.
Just breaking tackles. Quarterback, running back, great athlete.
He's good.
Walkersville boys limping around after that play.
Braden Mazalewski, great two-way player. He's an impressive quarterback, and that's a really good note for South Carroll. If they go to 0-2, they know they got a good quarterback, just a junior. Off the right guard, off the right side. This time it is Rodriguez. Remain back tonight, coming back from injury. Gain 3 on top of the purple W of Walkersville at midfield. 2nd and 8 to come. 6:30 remaining.
Ian Barr with another tackle from that middle linebacker position. Gets the feet of Rodriguez. Limits the game to 2 yards.
At the 46 officially. Cavaliers need to reach the 38. 2nd down. Shotgun. Mazalewski. To his left is Rodriguez. Quick pass in the slot is caught by Consno. He cuts to the middle. Kisei's on his feet. Now down the far left sideline. 25-20 to the 15, and he's out of bounds. Jackson Costos.
Wow.
Big pickup on the play.
A little quick pass out here to the right side, and Costas just took it. Beeline to the far side. That's the chunk play you don't want to give up, and out of bounds to stop the clock. And Walkersville's subbing personnel to try to keep people fresh.
Under 6 left to go. Clock stopped on the far hash mark. Mazalewski trying to keep his team in it. To his right, Rodriguez in the shotgun. 4 receivers split. Rodriguez now splits to the outside to make it 5 receivers. A pass to Rodriguez in the slot. It was read well by Walkersville. Rodriguez gets past 1 defender. Down the right side, gaining 4 or 5. Sumo wrestle to the turf after gaining 6.
Nick Howard, reserve linebacker in. I'll tell you what, there's no quitting these young men from South Carroll. Rodriguez just fighting off defenders there.
You can tell they're thinking about the math. Okay, we score a touchdown here before 5 minutes. Maybe we get an onside kick. Then we have 5 minutes or so to score 2 more touchdowns. They still believe they're in it. As Mazalewski's in the shotgun. Rodriguez on his right hip. 3 up top and 1 down low. Mazalewski claps his hands, now takes a snap, hands off Rodriguez, straight up the middle. He runs into the arm of a dark blue jersey at the 18.
Sophomore
14.
Braden Mitchell wraps him up. 6'1", 255-pound sophomore. He's one of the gentlemen from Walkersville, goes both ways.
4:50 and counting. Mazalewski And South Carroll, not in a huge hurry as they break huddle with 4 receivers in the back. To the right of Mazalewski. This time it's Davey Snyder. Mazalewski. Snap. Looks right. Rolls right. Under pressure. Back left. 3 blue jerseys chasing. He's running behind the line of scrimmage at the 30 at the 25. Now 20 wants to throw. Instead runs and just takes on the defensive back. Lowers the left shoulder and is tackled by Ian Barr along the right sideline. But at Mazalewski, he didn't want to go out of bounds. He wanted to go right at the linebacker Barr.
I'm just thinking back in the day, I was a scrambling quarterback. I'm stepping out of bounds right there.
Yeah.
But Braden's, he's taking them on. Just live for another day. You're not really going to gain too many more yards. So that brings up 4th and long. You got a timeout. And Walkersville players can sense that this is the play. Right here, they're trying to jack the fans up, get the student section going.
4th and 15. 4th and 5 from the 15. 3:57 left. Cavaliers trailing 35-14, really their last-ditch effort. I mean, it's going to be tough no matter what here, down by 3 touchdowns. But I think for the Cavaliers, a score here would be a big confidence boost heading into next week.
Sure. They haven't been able to punch anything in this half. This would be big. We'll see if they don't come back to their slot receiver that Walkersville's kind of leaving open, but not leaving open. They're giving him a good bit of cushion with the safety. If Walkersville might come out in a more man-to-man look and take that away and force them to throw something over top.
Ball near hash mark at the 15. Cavaliers need to reach the 10 as we're getting ready to close this one out. Lions getting their fans up in the air. Multiple players waving their hands. The coaches waving their arms, saying, let's get up for our team who's about to be 2-0. Shotgun. Mazalewski. Snap. Looks left. Now right. Pass towards the corner. It's caught at the 8. It is a first down inside the 10. Jake Miller's 3rd catch today.
Yep. And they hit that slot receiver. Walkersville did put somebody on him. He was able to break free. And Mazalewski again with the accurate pass. First down Cavaliers. And out of bounds. The clock stops. First and goal. 7.5-yard line?
I think that's correct. 3:51 left. Cavaliers first and goal from that spot, the coach said, 7 to 8 yard line. Mazalewski shotgun, Rodriguez left, takes a snap, looking left to Miller in the slot. He's not there. Mazalewski under pressure, has to throw to the back of the end zone, out of play, incomplete. More fantastic pressure from Walkersville, and their defense is really feeling themselves right now.
Isaiah Trish with the pressure kept him in the pocket. That was the big thing there. They were able to keep him in the pocket, and they're looking for a grounding penalty because that ball was just tossed out of bounds, and the quarterback was in the pocket.
All 4 referees, they talked about it. They were huddled up.
And here goes the flag.
And there it is. It is a grounding penalty. So as South Carroll was breaking their huddle, the referees were breaking their huddle. The lead official came out to the 30 and flipped the flag out of his pocket. It is a grounding penalty.
Yep, so that's loss of yardage and loss of down.
All the way back to the 34 on the near hash mark with 3:45 left. It is now 2nd and goal. Not something you see a whole lot. 2nd and goal from the 34-yard line. How come he lost so many yards there?
Because the penalty is assessed from the spot of the foul.
I see.
So he was scrambling back, never got out of the pocket, which was a credit to the defensive front. They kept him in the pocket. He threw it away. Well, you can't do that. You got to be out of the pocket to throw it away.
Essentially a 26-yard loss. Mazalewski in the pocket, drops back, heaves it down the middle, looking for his target, incomplete, over the top of Costos.
Yeah, the defensive backs for Walkersville did not play that very well, and just missed the receiver in the end zone.
Costos running a fly pattern right down the middle. Maybe you try that again if you're
you
South Carroll.
Just pick somebody different and go to the other side of the free safety. here on the right side, which we saw on film.
Sure.
Number 2 from the slot right down the seam, and here he comes.
Yeah, Jake Miller, this is his spot. He already has 1 catch over 40 yards. He is lined up. Right side, bunch formation. Maslowski shotgun. Rodriguez to his right. Walkersville 3:38 away from being 2-0. Maslowski the snap.
There he goes.
Under pressure. He's going to go down. His helmet comes off. We hope he's okay. Some shoving afterwards as Maslowski lost his helmet. No flag is up yet. He was sacked back at the 42.
Where's the penalty?
I don't think there is one. Potentially it was a clean hit. Usually when a helmet comes off, you're thinking face mask, as Maslowski's going to take a second to put it back on. Potentially it's got popped off as he was brought down. Did you think there was a grab at the face mask there, Coach?
I don't know. I thought the way the one defender for Walkersville reacted is like, oh crap. But no call. And that brings up 4th and forever for the Cavaliers.
4th and goal from the 43. Don't see that too often. 2:50 remaining. Cavaliers trying to get at least 1 score before halftime. They're one of the smaller teams in Carroll County, but they are a feisty team. Great football program. Made the state 4 seasons ago. 3 players on this team, including the running back Rodriguez, the tight end receiver Jake Miller, are brothers of players who were on that state team. And they play with a lot of pride. They're going to have a good season, but right now they're trailing by 3 touchdowns and a long way to go. 4th and forever. 4th and goal from the 44. And taking off with the football is the receiver, Kostos. It was a wildcat play. Kostos lined up as a quarterback, kept it himself, and got to the 35. Picked up about 10, obviously well short, and it's a turnover on down.
So the big penalty on the intentional grounding just killed the drive for the Cavaliers. Turnover and down. Walkersville takes over. 2:13 to play. 2 timeouts. If the Cavaliers choose to use those timeouts, Walkersville will need 2 first downs to run out the game.
Big student section to our right, jumping up and down, gyrating, pumping up their team as the Lions, 2:13 away from cruising to victory, up 35-14. They've pitched a shutout in the second half. That's got to feel great for this coaching staff. Turning and handing off the left side. Zamarel racing to the sideline. Defenders behind him. One pulls him down by the jersey.
That's a horse collar.
You think it'd be a horse collar, and there's a flag from the far side official.
Yeah, the head referee from the backside of the play threw the flag. It's like, you have to call that.
Those are the dangerous plays where your feet can get caught up underneath you when the jersey is pulled like that. And it is a personal foul, leading to a 15-yard penalty. Clock stopped at 2:02. Okay, we just don't want this getting chippy. We saw the helmet fly off from Maslowski, and now a horse collar as Colton Amarillo was running to the near sideline.
Yeah. See if Coach Crumley just doesn't. I would like to see Coach Thompson take a knee and see what South Carroll does in response.
Sure. I think at this point it's probably fair just to try to run off the clock or at least get close to it.
Yep.
Maybe even if South Carroll does call timeouts, at least you're keeping your players safe. It's always more dangerous in those kind of situations when maybe caution's thrown out when you are the team with the football, because you're the one getting hit, of course.
Yep.
And you never want to see your player get hurt when you're up by 3 touchdowns.
They're not in the victory formation. Brooks is under center.
I formation, Amarillo at the top, full back in front of him. Brooks hands it to Amarillo, who just goes right up the middle, lowers his shoulder, and is pulled down by 3 or 4 white jerseys at the 41. So conservative run there for the Lions, gaining 4.
And no timeout by South Carroll. Okay. So that should give Coach Thompson the hint that they're not going to do anything.
We'll see as Coach Tyler Thompson, battle of 2 second-year coaches. Takes a knee. I think that's what's going to happen here. Yeah. What a nice win for Walkersville. 21-point lead, minute left. Defense pitching a shutout in the second half.
Yep, and your quarterback's questionable, so the defense rises to the occasion. Owen does come back in. I think he threw the ball twice in the second half, and the rest was the legs of Colton Amaral, led by that great offensive line.
Brooks took a knee, brings up third down. He'll just take one more, and we'll call it a game. Walkersville, for the fourth straight season, about to go to 2-0. Each of those 4 seasons, if I had my numbers right, they lost their third game. So maybe this is the year for Walkersville to go 3-0. That would be quite the start if they can win next week.
I don't know for a fact. I didn't look it up. I should have. It might be Linganore, which is a very tall task, maybe one of the best teams in the state of Maryland. And that's usually how the schedule falls. Walkersville has a few tough, much more difficult, bigger school contests coming up. But credit to them, solid offensive performance, great second half defense to keep the Cavaliers off the scoreboard. Solid win for Coach Thompson. Just hope everybody comes through healthy for both teams as they move forward.
Clock expires. Walkersville Lions win 35-14 against the South Carroll Cavaliers. They outscored the Cavs 14-0 in that second half to win by 21. Let's go ahead and break. We'll take one more break, then we'll come back with a post game here on Cool Oldies 1450 and the Frederick County Sports Connection.
Service at a fair price. Brownie's Auto Repair employs only ASE certified technicians. Brownie's is one of only 33 shops in the state of Maryland designated as an ASE Blue Seal of Excellence repair facility. They want to help you maintain your vehicle in a manner that keeps it trouble-free and fun to drive. Stop by today. That's Brownie's Auto Repair, located on Frederick Street, Walkersville, a proud sponsor of Walkersville High School Athletics.
Back in the post-game show here on Cool Oldies 1450, the Frederick County Sports Connection. I'm Brian Pierce. Coach Rick Little is with me. Walkersville 35, South Carroll 14. That is the final in week 2 of the regular season. Walkersville is on the road against Urbana in just a minute, trying to win for the third straight time to open up the season. But, Coach, tonight, the big story, good defense, Colin Amaral, fantastic offensively.
Yeah, and, Colton probably will be the first to tell you it was the offensive line play. I mean, he was getting into the second level untouched consistently. Now, he made some great individual runs himself, but there were many times he's clean through there following his big fullback and that offensive line that is really coming together. A good mix of sophomore, junior, senior, but they're coming together, and I'll tell you what, they're going to be tested next week against Urbana. Strong 3A, 4A team, having a really good year. A lot of people are putting Urbana at the top of the heap, so it'll be a lot of fun next Friday night at Urbana.
Coach Thompson, I'm sure he and his team are really looking forward to that one. They have to bring their A game defensively, which is what they did in the second half. That has to feel good, shutting out a South Carroll offense that looked really good in the first half behind Brandon Mazalewski. They have some weapons, and they scored pretty easily, 14 points. Different story, though, in the second half.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of adjustments on the pass coverage and the rotation of the secondary to take away some of South Carroll's favorite plays really changed the tempo of that second half.
Coach, any final thoughts on this win for Walkersville? They go to 2-0 here tonight.
Again, solid win. Hope they're healthy. The schedule gets really difficult really quick for Walkersville.
We're looking forward to it for Tyler Wilhelm, Michael Betteridge doing a great job behind the scenes, Coach Rick Little, and Ryan Pierce. We all appreciate you tuning in tonight to high school football and Cool Oldies 1450. Again, we're going to be at Urbana next week. Walkersville against Urbana, 2 really good teams. That's going to be a lot of fun. But the final tonight, Walkersville, the Lions 35, South Carroll, the Cavaliers 14, Walkersville 2-0, the Cavaliers 0-2. We appreciate you tuning in tonight on Cool Oldies 1450 and the Frederick County Sports Connection.
Good night, all.
Don't worry, you can't make it to the game or miss the broadcast. All of our high school sports games are archived and available online at WPHUradio.com.